hater, brother's letter. I should cut my ear off like Van Gogh. Stop performing at the Klan shows. Watch myself from the audience. Play piano with lit candles. I mean, I'll still perform, but the thrill is gone. I don't feel as strong, maybe cause the wheel is torn. I clutch in the ball cause I'm sick to my gut. Then I brushed off the dust, stood up like I was touched by healing palms. I picked up my shield and 3 rocks as I'm hearing psalms. Know ye not that ye are gods? And I've been blocked by bouncers, overlooked by the announcers. I'm in the stand with the fans, which told me many of my album was like a counselor. They said songs like Then From Now, got them from then to now. Even deja vu, they said the old man was you. In the reoccurring nightmare, where you kept coming back around. I took a picture with him, then he showed me a picture of his daughter in a cap and gown. He said he put her through college because your words stood up for knowledge. Said to be honest, you like a prophet. I said stop it. He said what made you right before quarantine take us to Nebula in a rocket? I said it was just my journey to the planet of gods, a divine intervention. Just a mantra I said for the monsters in my head. Kept reliving, but we true and living. Like 3 supermen then, he said who you kidding? That was a beautiful listening. Clan came on and music was hitting. They did 4th chamber while I talked to strangers about his divorce and child support papers. Got it restrained in court for his anger. On the cross cause of haters. As goes finish up with the black suede while it dawn. They look around, I'm not alarmed. They search backstage and I'm gone. March finish the set, play the next song. Play the next song. Nobody would remember. He hardly was a member. But the gods was his avengers. With the bars always an inventor. From kindergarten to jobs at the center. From the mini mart, parking cars for the winter. Kept a penny jar. What's the odds I get injured? Dreams of a football star was hindered. My lovers died, my brother's demise. My first son arrived in September. Virgo. No more pop locking like a turbo. Stopping in Stockton in my circles. Melanetta, love was eternal. Ancestors, embrace her. Soared in my dreams like Jacob. Wrestle with the devils before I wake up. Or was that an angel in flames who renamed you? Killah Priest to join the Wu-Tang school. Say to them, oh son of man, now children go in the land. Now I'm on send them 5 deadly venoms.
Freak out, yo!
Yeah, man. Man, say what up.
Huh?
Say what up.
Say what?
Say what's up. Man, you look like grandma.
Oh, you looking at me now?
Peace to the family. Peace to the universal family. It is Woo Wednesday. It is Royal Priesthood Wednesday. And I just happen to be so blessed to have both of those definitions right here today. You understand what I'm saying? Woo Wednesday and Royal Priesthood Wednesday. We got a member of the Royal Priesthood, original member of the Royal Priesthood here in the building. That might be an Easter egg for some people that's listening and tuning in. You understand what I'm saying? But one who is a defining member of our culture, which is our God, and one who's a defining member of 4 decades in regards to moving and motivating hip-hop culture in various means. One who is a true testament to a builder, and one who gives credence to the term that you might hear used loosely as true and living. So we have a true and living God, one who has been carrying this culture from the cradle on forth, here to give us a little insight into his life and life lessons in regards to our culture and also in regards to the hip-hop industry. It becomes my honor and privilege at this time to introduce some, present to others, my atomic airlight. Medina's finest. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all might say Brooklyn's finest, but I'm going to say Medina's finest. One of Medina's finest on so many facets and levels. Brownsville in the building, okay? Brownsville in the building. The one, the only, my brother Kenyattah Black, man. Peace to the God.
Yes, peace and supreme love. My dear brother, it's always love and it's always a pleasure to to be in the presence. Beyond the scenes, they wouldn't know that our magnetism is so natural. So they're gonna get they're getting beyond the Easter egg today.
Word.
Wednesdays. Wings up to my royal priesthood. Peace and love to all the gods in the earth and babies across the universe. You know, this is definitely my pleasure, brother.
Word. Likewise. Glad to see you here in another capacity. Last time you was here, I think you had the scimitar out. You understand what I'm saying? And you was in battle.
Yeah, it was.
watching the casualty of war type of situation. So, word.
Yeah,
So how you be, Lloyd? How you feeling?
Again, natural. I'm amongst family, so there's no nervousness to it. It's not like one of these type of interviews or bills where I gotta feel like I gotta dig and be prepared for it or whatever. You know, this is a family. This is my roots, my grassroots community, which I love and praise, and what I live for the most part. This is my purpose, to be a vanguard and a beacon for Islam right here in the Western Hemisphere, North America. To be a vanguard for the so-called underground Sufis, you know, and stand up for what's right, regardless of whom or what, you know.
Let's go in the priest files. Let's start in the priest files. Your earliest connection with Killah Priest, your early connection with him as a brother, as a friend, as an Airlight, and then uh, what it meant to you to be connected with him for all of this time through the Love Hella Right experience in life. You know what I'm saying? And then into music.
I would say early 90s. Beautiful experience, early 90s. We talking about 93, 94. I was blessed and to be in the presence of that brother, because my older brothers, Allah and Shabar from Brownsville, they had a group called Born in Hell, and this was a brother duo out of the projects, out of Brownsville housing projects, and they was being managed by MC Lyte of Duke the Moon Management at the time. So I just was fascinated, and literally a fly on the wall, real quiet fly on the wall in the midst of that, and watching this duo go around, and they knew everybody at the time. The culture allowed them to know everybody, for that matter, you know. And when we would go around to Chungking Studios to go see Razah, we would always bump into our other brothers from Brooklyn that was there, from Crown Heights and Brownsville and Bed-Stuy, and it always was older brothers that was connected to that team that had a form of knowledge of self. They just wasn't around on at that level. When we could go to Chungking, you couldn't just be a bozo just walking in. You had to have a sense of civilization to even be around that. And they knew a certain amount of people could go. You know, some people might be downstairs even. But I was blessed to meet that brother along with Aquan, 62nd Assassin, Ramel, Prodigal Son Ramel, and a God Hellraiser at a young age. Back then, they would come to the projects. They would sit on the benches. They would be on a project. They would have this garbage can on Rockaway and Dumont. This one garbage can, everybody would sit on top of it. It was like a meeting ground. You met Busta Rhymes there, you met Nas there, but to see Sons of Man standing out there with us, not just 1 or 2 nights, but weekly. They here. Now they in the projects with us. They here with us. So we knew it was different. It wasn't just like rap visitors that was coming for street cred, stood on the benches. These was our brothers, you know, brothers in the culture, and brothers that was fortunate to be able to watch Wu-Tang in their fruition, you know, in the early days. We was blessed to see that, you know. Priest was, you know, he just was something else, man. Like, again, somebody that stood in his own, where he could easily took any character for that matter, because you had people marketing themselves a certain way, but he stood out on his own for whatever it was, and it showed us that this is a special brother, man. This is very special, especially with him being on Bible. You know, that showed and proved with us enough beyond that. And then they made me research him more, just being around him. Like, he can't just be this special angel around me. What's up with this guy? You start looking for the dirt under the nails a little bit. Like, you know, but he definitely was always a solid brother from day one. You know.
So hearing him run, hearing him battle. But before that, yesterday, you know, 28 years ago, Heavy Mental came out. And we were there from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Civilization is where the, you know, where the knowledge of wisdom was first started or found when the planet was made or grown. You see what I'm saying? It's like, so in that era of civilization, to be able to look back 28 years, right?
Happy anniversary, 28 years.
Yeah, 28 years.
A revolution again. To see, I remember being super happy that he was able to complete that album, and the world would hear that album. I remember us sitting in a giant cipher, cutting up potatoes and chicken wings to hear that album. And we just was mystified with it. A lot of stuff we would hear in the studios, but to hear it in his sequence,
right.
That sequence, it was something else. Because after you know, seeing Sons of Man do their thing as a group, first group on Wu-Tang Records, seeing Hellraiser be like a young Nas at that time, he just was a prodigy. They was a super group that was already in a super group. The world didn't know that. They could have all been soloists at that time, but they was already a super group, you know, packaged by Wu-Tang from the beginning. And to get the whole Killah Priest as a soloist, to put out Heavy Mental, we was mystified with that. Cross My Heart and all of that. Oh man.
Right.
The Byzantine King. That's my one. That take me there every time. I see Chariots in the Sky, Man and Earth Look Surprised. All of that have me. That's the one.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Priest moving through the industry like King Kong himself. And everybody seen him, and he couldn't, like, bouncers, DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, everybody know Priest. That's the one, you know. That's our superhero. Just like Ghostface. Priest is that one for Brooklyn for us. He our superhero, our great Avenger, you know. Our Wakanda Black Panther, Ramada Medina.
Never ran, never will. Right?
Across the dark hills of Brownsville. Word.
Right. So right in that kind of area, March 9th, we had lost another Brooklyn icon. You know what I'm saying? So you got this, and then you get this right after. You see what I'm saying? You get that dichotomy in between. So what was that like for you as a young God, experiencing what that meant for the world, the country, and then what it meant for New York, and then what it meant for Brooklyn? You know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
perfect segue for me personally, almost, because I didn't know Biggie. I never even seen him physically.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time hearing him, we didn't have a visual of him, just bullshitting party and thinking, who is this guy? And I wonder how he looked. That was the plus about listening to him,
Right.
wondering how he looked. We didn't even need to have a visual for him. He was so great the first time I heard him. So with the loss of this fallen brother, it kind of, I don't want to be, it kind of created me.
Mm.
It kind of, because I already had a rap styles. I already was in rap groups, but I was
Right.
a soloist at that point. And I was able to really formulate what I can do with the potential of those two great albums, Watching Life After Death and Heavy Mental,
Right.
helped create Kenyattah Black. I can honestly say that I was always truly influenced by those two projects. Now I was an artist before then named Vital the Arab, but at that time, it helped me to really become Kenyattah Black, the potential of who I am now. That was the total foundation of that. You know, I was never able to record with that name, but that was definitely the foundation.
Mm.
Becoming more visual, becoming more charismatic, more sarcasm, more witty.
Right.
You
Right.
know, being able to watch those dichotomies, those two albums, and really study them at the time and live them, because it's a trauma almost that you don't forget. One person is passing away and one is rising up.
Right.
So it's a deep trauma, almost a shame that you would never forget in a great way, because it helped create me. It's like the multiverse splitting. Killah Priest is one of my big brothers, so
Right.
even before meeting him, I studied his bars, and then to be around him, to be validated, to see that, wow, I can kind of keep up a little bit around these giants. This is
Right.
something. This is inspiring me to keep going, because when you hear some of these greats, it kind of could make you jaded, and it kind of could make you want to put your pen
Right.
down. Like, wow, with that going
Right.
on, I don't think I have nothing to do. It's nothing for me to look at Biggie and look at Priest. I also like Twister from out of Chicago. He was another great influence for me at that time. So yeah, that helped create the character of Kenyattah Black, definitely. Artistry level,
Mm.
definitely.
I want to switch back to the culture, right? They kind of like intertwined, but I want to see what it was like, the sights and the sounds of
It was
Brownsville, the sights and the sounds of Medina. You know what I'm saying? Coming up um, in the God
oh,
culture. You know what I'm saying? And
it also was shocking because I had brothers that was out in LA at the time. The Rose
mm,
family was out there.
yeah,
So I'm getting direct calls from brothers saying, yo, Biggie got shot. Not that he
crazy.
died, but the fact that he got shot, that hurt.
Right,
I
right,
remember that call in '97. You know, uh, um, a lot going on during that time. you know, John Forte going to jail, getting locked up that same time. You know, I just was with him in the Source magazine before he had to turn himself in for that case. So, you know, literally, I wasn't an artist. I was more like a hype man for John Forte at the time, and he losing his record deal, and then he going to jail, and he's being bailed out at the time, and then Biggie dies, and it's this cloud over New York, over Brooklyn. It's a deep, dark cloud because you feel hip hop police everywhere. You kind of feel that in the air and the energy. So you got to be wise. What clubs you pick, the people you're hanging with, the pictures you're taking, all of that is taking place. It's an atmosphere, so you could easily be caught up if you're not on point. That time was real deep and reckless. You had to be on point. You had to have our sight. You had to have a form of knowledge yourself to even survive that era. You know, because a lot of the people that was easily led in the wrong direction was definitely led in the wrong direction. You know, easily. A lot of things crept in that we didn't even notice at the time. We didn't notice. Think about it. The Bloods and Crips crept in already. By 9-4. But we didn't notice to maybe 9-6, 9-7. We kind of didn't even see that happening because it was going on in jail. So by the time it hit the streets, we kind of hearing about this stuff 97. The streets are starting to see, oh, you got dudes with burns on their arms. And now everybody calling themselves dogs, and DMX is out. And the dog world was going on, and you know, bloodhounds, and you seeing the Crips running around. The Caribbean neighborhood is blue, and the African American neighborhood was red, and you saw the switch up real quick, and you saw the gangs flew in. Now it's crazy because New York just was losing gangs. The last gang that was at that time was the Latin Kings. Anthony Byers case just happened, where they was playing football in the Bronx. The football hit the cop car. The cop came out the car and choked the brother out. So all of this is going on. It was real heavy in the streets. So you still got gangs out there, but they kind of dying out. What people don't even know is it's kind of dying out, the popularity of gangs, but gangs is coming back a certain way that we don't even notice, even deeper than before. It's like what we knew about gangs in New York, what we knew about the Decepticons and the Kenyattahs and the Latin Kings and Dominican power and stuff like that, and even the graffiti gangs was kind of souring out. And then all of a sudden, when Biggie died, everybody was blood and Crip in the street. That just was a thing, you know. You think the Muslim God thing is a thing? They had you had the blood gods, you had the Nickelbacks and all type of names running around. We had to deal with
the hard bodies.
yeah.
All kinds of man. Yeah.
Everybody was coming out to, oh, that's my man. He put me down, and it just it was a wild east at that time.
Danger.
People coming home, going in, coming home, going in with all these weird ideas. But nothing has been more of a foundation and steady in my life as the culture of Allah's world manifest. That never wavered in me. It never caused me to want to go, you know what? Maybe I should be Black P. Stone. Maybe I should be El Rukin. Maybe it's still Islam. You know, people have all type of ways of having deceptive intelligence about it, but just stand on your own mound, you can't do. And I always had it in my stubborn nature as a young Capricorn to stay steadfast on it. Maybe they think it's a fad for you, but this is my culture. This is my way of life. More importantly than anything, you know. What the deal, Star? Heard the devil spar with Allah.
Where's the spar? You know, that's my line right there. You know what I'm saying? That's my line right there. So, how many twists and turns have you seen in this culture that you was born in, raised in, shaped by, molded, tried, true, tested, battle scarred, you know, in all, you know, in this time. You know what I'm saying? And
You
how
ever
how
heard of
does that
this
look?
one? You ever heard now or never?
Yeah. Yeah.
That says a lot, bro. Because
Yeah.
there was a time when I first got my alphabets, it said now or never. And then maybe 9-1, I start seeing now nation N,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And then I asked brothers, what happened to now or never?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how far I go back in this, where I remember it was a time where we knew what the 16th degree and 140 alluded to. Then it just turned into some big argument along the way. Now, the twists and turns, I would say, it's just the same as the Holy Quran. You know, you got Medina and Mecca, two powerful mainlands in the origin of the culture. Now, you got the desert, and you got Pelon, and you got Savior's Island. But what's dictating the culture at the time, I got to be perfectly honest, it was Mecca and Medina. And when I say that, you got what they would call major players doing things. You got a Lord Dubar in Brooklyn. You got a Lord Dumar in Mecca. We got two national spokesmen that people don't talk about. Why? Because one national spokesman is doing what they call assisting the Nation of Islam down there in Medina. So I seen this as a kid with Allah's most precious Jew and my step pops Divine Allah, who they call Lord Dubar. You know. So I also seen Islam be shunned in Brooklyn and our God be raised in Mecca. And I seen these little twists and turns. And as a young guy, I never said, I'm against any of it. I'm going to embrace them both. I'm always go to Mecca. I'm always be in Medina. Because that's how people is. Older gods might have they weird rifts that we don't know about. I wasn't there. I'm not going to really dig into it. But in my time, I saw it was just strong figures doing what they could do with the youth, you know. And I didn't see a technical division, but I just seen those actions being made, you know. Mecca seemed to me like brothers that was keeping the nation organized. Uptown against, you know, you got so many groups up there. You got the Muftis on the same block, 127th. You got so many organizations. So I would imagine those brothers trying to make sure the flag is cemented up there in Mecca, you know, let alone it being the place, but making sure nothing fall of what they knew as the tenants. And then being in a different barrel far down the line, we traveling up on a train to get up to Harlem to get to. We love that. We love the pilgrimage. We had a passion for it out there in Medina. We made sure we was on point when we got on the train. We took it in our hearts to be accepted up there, to be supporting cast brothers, to make sure brothers know that Allah never dies. We lived with that in our hearts out there in Medina. Save the babies is the first war cry. The second one is freedom or death. And we was going to live that out for Allah world manifest. And even if we seen a certain smirks or eye twitches, we knew that we had a bigger purpose to keep going up there for our nation, and that's our brothers up there. And people have their way, to you be your way, to me be mine. 109th Surah in the Holy Quran. But we still Islam. If you want to say our God, we embrace our God. But don't knock it when we say Sham God. Don't knock it when we say Sarah-Khan. We have imaginative, beautiful names that's going to go outside the diaspora, but we still love the culture, So that's what I seen growing up, in my time and my age, being, seeing like weird twists and turns through the culture but we ever staying, you have all type of Rastafarian figures that have their influence. You have Egyptian influenced brothers. You have brothers that was highly influenced with Moorish science, Freemasonry, and just want to add on to the cipher. Sometimes they tip over a little too much and just don't know how to add on to the cipher. In my age, I watch good-hearted brothers want to just bring things to the culture. And some things just got shunned away because it wasn't brought in a peaceful fashion, a welcoming fashion. Me, I liked all the good information that I could get in my time. And maybe the older brothers just was like, we got to keep what we have, and I don't want to hear that, none of that.
Oh, man. If I can add on real quick before I ask another question.
Yes, sir.
Islam is mathematics, and mathematics is Islam, right? That's something that we heard, but it's also something that we live. If you look at Mecca and Medina and the influential way that you talked about, historically, it's reported that Muhammad was from Mecca and he went to Medina.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Medina because he had to leave Mecca. Because Mecca, like Harlem, was the trap house. So they had a festival for every god. They had 360 gods, right? And they had a festival for every god a day. So through the trade route, he was able to mastermind a way to minimize you getting robbed, going to and fro to the festival that was dedicated to your god. You understand what I'm saying? So you go, cats are coming in, they'd be like, oh, we turning up for such and such today, bro. And they can make it back safe. And because he was always giving people the ins and outs of the trade route, they was messing with dude. You see what I'm saying? He's a trustworthy dude. So if he tell you don't go that way, don't go that way. And if you went that way, you found out why he said don't go that way. You understand?
That's right.
So in Mecca, he became trusted. So and the trap is popping. So he popping amongst the people that's traveling to and fro, and for the people who setting up for the festival, because everybody, they need to make their bread, right? So he said one day after he got this revelation from Jibril, Ikra Bismi Rabbika Ala, and he figured out who he was, he went back to the trap spot and said, yo, y'all trust me? Said, yeah, if I told you that the enemy was coming, would you believe me? He said, yeah. So he said, yo, the enemy coming, and we got to go away from all of these gods and turn to the worship of one. They like, this dude tripping? Like, what are you talking about? You understand what I'm saying? He's like, yo, we got to come to the worship of one, and we got to get rid of all of these pagan gods and idols, right? That's what they said. He said, right? So they're like, nah, fam, you got to get up out of here for something happened to you. You messing up the trap house. Everybody eating over here, B. What you doing? So he leaves and flees into Medina, and the Medina is under Israeli control. So here comes this guy leaving this place, and he goes over in Medina and builds an army and gains power as a statesman over in Medina, and takes his army back into Mecca, and then all of a sudden don't nobody want no smoke. So he like, yo, this is what we doing over here. So now, if that story is true or not true, the effects of the story becomes true. So Mecca and Medina, Harlem and Brooklyn, historically got C Medina, and D Mecca historically got because once you take on this, you have to take on everything that comes along with it, right? So anywhere you see that sort of dynamic based off of what it calls itself, the people have to live out the culture of what they're called. Now that's God's science. Am I tripping? All right.
No, that's
the Chicago
right
Bulls
from Black
and the Detroit Pistons, right?
Right.
Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions. That's a rivalry, right? It's going to be a situation where this is happening based off of, what is the story that's associated with it, or what it's called, and how the people live based off of what they call, right? So that becomes a rivalry. I might say rivalry, but I say rivalry. Like, so people strive to have that. They have that wherever these two sorts of polarities exist.
Yeah, like a sibling rivalry, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Word. So it's ill, to even hear it again. I just wanted to, strive to add on in that regard, because I have been thinking about it for years. You know what I mean? Thinking about it for years. So any place that had, this Medina type of energy, and anybody, the other spot had this other, Slick Willie, 3-card Monty, what I'm saying, shell game type of situation, some way to beguile you and to style you and beguile you. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, all right, you look good enough to rob. You understand what I'm saying? So somebody picking your pocket versus somebody strong arming you.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell you a pyramid shaped ashtray, and then I'm gonna lead you along. You gotta be on point. You gotta really be on point.
And I'm gonna have this TV and say, yo, I got this TV for you, and you take it home and some bricks in it. It ain't a TV.
Box of rocks.
You know what I'm saying? They tell you dumb as a box of rocks for that. You see what I'm saying? So,
that's right.
They hit you, but other than somebody walking up to you and pulling out your pockets.
And that's a blessing from this, because I lived in Medina where it was so poor you didn't have these type of hustles.
Yeah.
They stick-up kids. They went out to get theirs. That was the mind state. Even from the boosters to the girls getting credit card scamming, they went out for theirs, But to go in Manhattan and see people sucking tokens on a turnstile, and dudes that already know how to clog the pay phones and getting money, just really money based out there. They selling T-shirts, they selling lemonade, They
Right.
just, there's no fear about the getting money. Like, it's like you just want to survive in Brooklyn. Over there, they want to shine. They want to win. So you learn the different worlds of and that, that dichotomy, So it's beautiful to see. I was able to learn how not to get pickpocket in those places. It's two extremes at that level. You don't really learn how to hustle till you go up to Mecca.
Right. Yeah. Word up. I remember the rallies, you know what I'm saying? And then, the epic, you get chased to the train, and if you got, you got. You know what
Yeah. Whereas, in Medina, you didn't, you had Fort Greene rallies, you hardly had vendors. You hardly had a vendor. We had icy carts. The culture was free. That's all you heard. The culture is free. Passionate. They singing. That's what I grew up around. Brothers that, when the rally was over, they still was there, singing late in the night and loving their culture. Just all type of words that they would remix sometimes, and then I would hear new ones. It was beautiful to grow up in this culture. I was blessed, definitely blessed, to sit on the laps of giants. Hearing them sing and be proud of the culture that they was in. So I got a chance to see that and do my visual. Because they could have been talking about all type of weird stuff, but I didn't hear that around me. I didn't hear negativity when I was around, and most times I was definitely around. So it wasn't like they was doing that for me. This the culture I grew up in. Right. Positive brothers that wanted to see the next generation do better, rather let alone themselves. A beautiful culture. I met brothers of all walks of life, CEOs, photographers, brothers coming from the Gulf War, all had this culture in their heart. It's beautiful, to see. Like I said, it's like a sibling rivalry because the brothers make each other tougher, still sharp and still, in that regard.
Hold up. And you wanted to be better. You wanted to be a cultural ambassador. You see what I'm saying? Of whatever walk of life you was dealing with. So if you had this particular way of life, you wanted to be the piece with the magnetic, right? So that's how you would style yourself a certain way. You would present yourself a certain way. You would build a certain kind of way. So you putting it out there for somebody to see you, whether you build it or not. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're speaking or not. So whether you're reciting anything or not, just your mere presence. It's like, oh, okay. Yo, who that? You know what I'm saying? Versus, yo, who that? You know what I'm saying? The tonality is changing. And, you know what I mean? And, you start to be out there with the wolves and hyenas, and they're like, yo, who that?
Bro, if I showed you my yearbook photos, you would be laughing your head off. Because not that it's funny, but I stick out like a sore thumb. I'm standing on my square in kindergarten, first grade, second grade. I'm always militant. All the photos, they asking the people asking in the comments, why are you so serious? Like, I don't know. I always was serious. It wasn't that I was looking for jokes. I just was always focused. Always focused. I had to be on the square all the time. I couldn't sleep too much. I had to practice being up, from a young age. So those mannerisms definitely I was influenced by this culture. It wasn't hip hop that put me in a b-boy stand. It was the culture of Islam that put me on my perpendicular square. You know,
Truth is square. So you spoke our air like up. The reason that we're here, the Iron Software Hip Hop is in the building.
Yes, sir.
So let's give it up for the one, the only, Killah Priest.
Kenyattah Black in the building.
Peace to the Lord's son, Messiah.
Yeah, indeed. Peace, knowledge born. Let me go over here so I get some room.
God.
Yeah. Peace, God. Peace. Yeah, I see y'all building, yo. Your genesis is incredible. You already know. Well, you already know. You coming from like rich black soil, knowledge soil. Yeah, right. It's a pleasure to be here, man. I'm glad you came through.
At Chung King, snake fighting with Razah in the streets of Canal. I seen this. I saw them snake fighting on the street for like an hour after leaving the studio. You know what I'm saying? I see.
Ah, man, humble beginnings, yes, indeed. Yep. Chung King, you already know. How's Bob, man?
Beloved, peace. The brother is peace. You know, I speak to him every day.
Okay.
We about to put an EP together, me and Bob. All his production.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. That's great right there. Word. Slaughter.
Yeah, the brothers is peace. Everybody is in a blessed place right now where they just, growing and taking care of their families and stuff like that.
Right.
Just
your album.
Yes,
your
sir.
album, yo, you took it back. Took it back, yo. Took it back. It's real, for real. Oh man. Yo, so you went through, y'all go through the album yet? I was born?
Not yet.
Okay, yeah.
Since you're here, I do want to go through an album. I'm gonna skip. I was gonna save this, but since both of y'all are here, I get the illest view from Masada background story ever. You know what I'm saying? So if we could talk about View from Masada, you know what I mean, and your involvement, Lord, in the project and all of that, since we're here in this moment right here.
Oh yeah, man. My brother allowed me to be at every session. At that time he allowed me to live with him. It's also tragic because I'm watching studio sessions where his manager Kev go in the studio and do Live by the Gun. I watched that session. That was one of the greatest sessions. I'm there. So when he passed away, I'm around that also. Just beautiful, tragic hills and valleys. This is my family, so I'm speaking the truth of what I was around at that time. I was able to see MCA, all of MCA, Geffen offices, David Geffen offices, by way of my brother John Forte and Priest. Because when D the weatherman was up there working, Priest was like, "Yeah, Black homie, to go get this check real quick. I gotta get that." And while I'm in the office sequencing the album, Priest is gone. He out the door right now. He downstairs. he in the pizza shop somewhere. He gone. So View from Masada, that I sequenced that album from the beginning to the end. The top. That was the thing that I remember the most about it, because although I wasn't vocally on the album, my contribution was just merely when we was handing in the album. I sequenced the it from top to bottom. What would be the order of View from Masada? How people heard that came from me.
Crazy. Word, that's crazy. Yes, that's facts right there. Oh, so that's right, because you and Rose was in the studio like just like late when we bounced. Yeah, when we bounced. Back at being Revolt.
Yeah,
there was so much going on during that time. Word. So
we got
much
Same Rose on the
during
hook
that time.
to do the interlude.
Same Rose. Yeah. What up with him?
All right, that brother is locked up. Long time, Binghamton.
Yeah.
They call him Ja Diggs. I got
Okay.
a memory for you, Priest, for the audience to hear. You remember coming home from Japan, and you had the GameCube with Power Stone, and we went to Soundtrack Studios, and the same night we do I Don't Appreciate, we meet Little Kim and Mobb Deep. They doing Quiet
You
Storm.
was there?
Yeah.
You always tell that story, yo. You was there. Oh, so there it goes, official. Yep. And that's where Prodigy was like, yo, guess who's coming? Little Kim. He told us, I remember that. And we went in a studio and Kim didn't lay a verse yet. It was just them. I remember that. Then she came in. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's a throwback right there. That's a throwback.
We was in Soundtrack, and then we just wound up doing I Don't Appreciate, the first Maccabee song.
Yep. I Don't Appreciate what. Oh yeah, that's fire. Yeah, you was on that one.
Yeah,
exactly. You got it.
Yeah, I got that. I don't appreciate what God has left.
Blacks,
nothing but pain. Priest did the hook on that one. To live a life like mine takes serious time.
Serious talk. Yeah, that's real talk. All right. Yeah, man. It was so those, like, that spawned a whole bunch of things like that. Like seeing that with Little Kim doing, them coming through, and us in the studio, and then going outside and robbing in the park. You went back that far? Where it was like right, on the side of the street.
Yeah, Washington Square Park.
Yeah. Washington Square Park. He used to rhyme till clouds just come and start raining.
The rain start chasing us down the street.
Yeah, exactly.
Rain, Lord.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do we see a walls of rain chasing us?
Yeah.
Ciphering.
Well,
we done slaughtered so many crews and cliques. We was the supporting cast for what Wu-Tang was doing. They didn't have to battle.
Right.
They saw us. They saw New Music Seminar, Tramps. Yeah. I seen Priest and them in Chicago 1998. I was on the Smoking Grooves tour with as a hype man for Forte, and I saw them walking through the crowd. From the stage, I'm looking at 4 dudes walk through 20,000 people, and I knew that was my brothers. I ran downstairs on the stage. I'm like, yo, what y'all doing out here? They be like, yo, we got an after party at House of Blues. We got an album release at House of Blues. From there, I'm like, I'm going to get Wyclef and them. We coming to that after party. We went deep to House of Blues, Chicago. Sons of Man album release party. So I definitely got memories with these brothers, especially with Priest. Masada he helped me along the way a lot of times, way before the music thing. But then this mighty culture when before proverb music was ever made, we would be sitting in housing projects just reading proverbs, just going through the scriptures. So to see him go through the book of Psalms and then, you know, start in Hell clothing line and stuff like that, I watched that. I was right around for all of this, you know. Yeah, I know he hit back.
Project. Yeah. So we had a free sighting. You see that? See what happened? You build it, make it rain. You know what I'm saying? And make it rain, right? So let me play Project Funerals real quick. Play Project Funerals real quick, and we can keep on building. Tell somebody the great God.
Dedicated to Uncle
Black
Freedom. Uncle Freedom born, Papa Wu. I lost a nephew, an aunt, and an uncle around the same time. My nephew Janelle, Nally, my aunt Essie, my mom's sister, and my Uncle Freedom, Papa Wu. Literally December 16, December 17, they all just expired around them times. So that's Project Funerals was what inspired that, you know. All and dedicated to them.
Project Funeral. 2020's a rough one. Left me hungry. Time for the repast. As I approach the steeple gates, it's all slow, feeling like a ghost. And I don't know none of these people face my defeated souls in a low state. No breaks, one day uncle, next day auntie. Still gotta show faith. Here I am, some say a demigod, I demonstrate. Having cake, I walk on tracks just like Baron Straight. Penetrate your inner walls without slight force. My choice, Katie coming at you like a dark horse. Day I was born, the moon turned the blood, the sky turned gray. The black light released from the gate, released from the state of ignorance. I stay away from living bliss. I don't play in the wilderness. Gefilte fish, Aladdin, I will grant your wish. Had a dream, swimming upstream, gorillas in the mist. Black tears, distilled hearts, heavy like gravity. The casualties becoming casual. What a tragedy.
Shower posse, Shogun, ashy fist stuff you out. Slap box, staircase, bare face, Anunnaki's out. Peace to all my welfare money flippers. Barbershop clippers on the side of my 7. What a lovely picture, pouring righteous scriptures, the wise elite. Blackman Allah, Papa for Jabbar, the superhero adventures. Alchemist airbenders. I tear through space with a sonic boom interest. Traveling through the 5 stages. The family is landed, owner of the planet. Stoners of the canvas, soul controller planners. Soundwave weaponry, foul famine spreading through the lanes like leprosy. Pledge allegiance to this mackin'. Observe, respect, and move carefully. As many eyes watching, look at everything skeptically. Today's math is double the digit. We in the building with our feet up. You are now tuned to the true and living. We in the building with our feet up. You are now tuned to the true and living.
Project Funeral. It's like the more I help, the less you do. But little nigga, here's the truth. Nothing will work unless you do. No, I don't need no yes man in my camp to gas and get me in. When being disciplined, it took me to places that motivation can't. How are we not ashamed? It's not a game, but nowadays a youngin' go on IG Live to piss on this opposite's grave. How can we not complain? Look how many cops done shot and slain. There's a lot of names till these politicians treat us like this is not a thing. The block you from's like the same block me and my niggas from. Some things that happened would've turned out better if the pigs didn't come. I might pull out the fresh tux. And yeah, I know it's messed up, but these the only times of the year I see the whole fam all get dressed up. Project Funerals. Project Funerals.
In the cold omelets, omens obituary, witches scary, niggas bury vision, blurry cemetery, rosemary, souls ready. crown adorns, the robes are heavy. The ground gets warm as a ghost come get me. Energy gone, involved into infinity forms. They're egging me on from the projects to pockets of storm. From feeders to 9mm screamers, siren silence. Can't hear the speaker or preacher. Spirit leaves us, the nine ether, the grim reaper, the gatekeeper. Cause of gang violence, insane asylums, the eagle is latest talents. With spirit wings, every soul must weigh in balance till you hear them playing violin. The youth shooting each other to sip the fountain. May your tears pour like tequila and shot glasses for the Aztecs we had blessed as God figures. God figures.
I had to slide it in there real quick, Lord. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I had to slide in the richness. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, we got a pre-sighting. You know what I mean? This is right in line, right in sync, lockstep. Around for every session, sequencing all of the view from Masada space. Like, that's another space. Come on, Lord, you got to add on a little bit more about that. But first, before you get to that, this song right here, you know what I'm saying? Off of this epic album, Humble Yet Effective, you know what I'm saying? Putting this together, you just popped your collar on us, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, Planet Asia, a preach verse at the end, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm like, yo, what we got going on here, Lord? You know what I'm saying? So just tell us about the track, tell us about the album, and then, if you don't mind, adding on a little bit about, the view from Masada journey, a young Justin Blaze, you know what I'm saying? All of the nooks and the crannies.
Yeah. With this one, it was a blessing to especially in the pandemic times. I still wanted to release a project, and I seen the power of a Rock Marciano production when people thought his production was losing steam or something. I'm like, oh, y'all bugging. I gotta get the best of the best, and I thought that was one of his great productions I could get out of him, and I wanted to supply my visuals of what I was feeling at that time emotionally. It was therapeutic for my art, and then to get my brothers in arms and culture to add on to it, it's always a cherry on top, because to rap is one thing, but to be co-signed by the legends, the people that you love and revere as the greats, and then to ride alongside them is one thing. You never know if you're good enough for yourself. Sometimes just doing it, but to complete those ciphers and hear what if it sound good, it sound good, and that's what we going with. It's not necessarily about namesake or whatever. And I thought that with that complete cipher and sound good, we got to put this out for the world, and people will be surprised of who we know from all across the world and our connections from east to west. Our brother Powerful Jabbar from up in Vallejo, and righteous brothers, and rest in peace to his moms, his grandmoms at this time. I know he traveling across out there in Germany. But peace to my brother on planet Asia, traveling across the planet Asia.
Word is wrong. Traveling across the planet Asia. Word is wrong. Yeah.
And one of my childhood friends, Skanks, from the very beginning, which is the Easter eggs. Skanks the Rap Martyr was a kid I was watching when I was 11 years old in the booth before me, out in Crown Heights. And he was being managed by the same group of ladies, Duke the Moon Management, MC Lyte, Lynn Q as Queen Isis, and Pam Wilder, aka Makiba Mooncycle. These three ladies was in charge of a mighty group of ill MCs at that time called the Wolf Pack, which later turned into the Population Clique. And the dude at the time name was Ro the Problem Child. At that time, probably was 12 years old. I'm 11, watching this, or maybe we were the same age, and I just knew he was ahead of me in the booth. So to reconnect with him 30 years later, as Kenyattah Black and Skanksta Rap Martyr, that's an Easter egg for Population Clique also. You know, our reunion in that level. So that was dope to get him on it. You know, and Priest is, you know what he do, visualize it and capsize and Kaba smooth that rough Ashler out and he complete the cipher. You know, I was blessed with that. You know, and to hear Rock Marciano, Killah Priest, that's something for me. I want to hear that. You know, on my second album, Humble Yet Effective, was dropping in 2021. You know, I just push. I just keep pushing. Because I know it's no limit of time when the people, you know, I don't have the marketing dollars that the machine is using to push. But I know my music it has no limit of time on it. You know, I don't write it for 3 months. Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right. Yo, imagine I'm writing and I'm just listening, right? I'm listening because I'm preparing my imagination for this experience, right? And I'm going through, and I hear this joint. And I run it back and I hear this joint and I'm tripping and I call Priest and I left his verse on his answering machine. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo. I'm having a yo moment, like, yo. And then I'm like, I'm not about to call the guy, because if I get on the phone with the guy and be on the phone with the guy for like 4 hours. And I got stuff to do, you know. So I'm listening and I'm listening and I'm listening, and then I hear the other joint. I'm gonna play the other joint right now, if you don't mind. I'm gonna play the other joint right now because this is like, I'm like, I gotta call the guy now. I already know. Whatever I was doing is over with now. I'm about to be in the mix with my ear, like adding on building 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna play Ruler Steps remix. You understand what I'm saying right now? Because that's a whole nother story I'm gonna need for you to get into, all within itself. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so I got a couple of joints that's the stories up with stories in stories in stories of stories. So it's another one of them story joints. So
yes, sir.
If you don't mind, we could play it for the fan real quick. Ruler Steps remix. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it.
Yeah. Motherfucker, come on. Motherfucker, come on. Yeah. That nigga dance. Born a rebel with intellectual steps. For those who oppose, you feel my righteous rep. Chop them down, destroy and build. If they live, then I kill. Shit's real in the field. I'm on one knee as a kneel. Medicated, illustrated, my mind, I got time. I illustrated, I know from the start when I shine. 7 days, 7 nights, I manifested. Supreme mathematics and alphabets, yo, I go by the lesson. Then it's all within us, true indeed, 5%er. Divided by 95 with 85 sinners. Now who's the winner, who's the loser? Who's the ruler? Mix the gangster with the knowledge by law. I got to do you from Brooklyn to Cali, from both sides of the coast. Past the Kush, Kenyattah, yeah, I'm trying to smoke and have that la blow it out all in the air. I'm that nigga dance, I'm the dog, so you better beware.
Every step step you take should be
ruler steps.
Every move you make should be
ruler steps.
I take my time whenever I'm taking
ruler steps.
I set up short-term goals, you know.
Ruler steps.
Every step you take should be
ruler steps.
Every move you make should be
ruler steps.
I take my time whenever I'm taking
ruler steps.
I set up short-term goals, you
Allow
know.
me to introduce first Kenyattah Blackman Allah. Lyrical, spiritual, hit him like holy Qurans. I leave him holy on his arm, leg, arm, head. I'm heavyweight, I'm like Don Mega.
I'm taking calculated steps, controlling my moves. Watch positions when it switches like watch wrists. Yes, this is the ruler. I own the universe. With mathematics, my verses only equals the hearses.
I'm not a reverend, I rock the 7, star in the crescent. Me and my brethren, Brooklyn chance, got them dancing in heaven. I'm representing hard body, God body. Y'all probably think of John the Baptist, I'm more like John Gotti.
This goes out to those who choose without a choice. Brooklyn chance, Medina Gold, I'll be your voice. My sound travels round, sorta like 4 pounds. Now culture and freedom here is not an 85 affair. Every step you take should be
ruler steps.
Every move you make should be
ruler steps.
I take my time whenever I'm taking
ruler steps.
I set up short-term goals, you know.
Ruler steps.
Every step you take should be
ruler steps.
Every move you make should be
ruler steps.
I take my time whenever I'm taking
ruler steps.
I set up short-term goals, you know.
Ruler steps.
I walk like a god that was born in the Mars. Sketch the first architect, pyramids on Mars. Rhymes all marvelous, I'm dealing with the stars. Ruler with the obligates, crystals in the cars. Never say the obvious, neutrons charge. MCs are like newborns, my bars is from beyond. My writing pen is a violin for Leviathan, a super vitamin, high winds from Ireland. A mitogen and a hydrogen, a Vicodin. I self-lord and master, my health pure and matter. I flow raw disaster, slayer of the Baphomet and the savages. Evil practices, seance, demonic activists. Behold the scroll foretold from the lost souls. Indian pale horse with the crossbow.
Ruler steps, Kings County municipal with no regrets. You supposedly hard dudes got no effect, or notably hard dudes from the lower deck. Brooklyn, give me your sack. Eastside. Yeah, I'm busy putting lanes up on game. What's up? Kelly, throw up your sack. Westside. Yeah, ain't nothing really changed, we just came up. Boom. I'm out here like Huey P. Newton now. Your honor, them piranhas you're recruiting now. It's pushing us way past looting now. My constitutional rights won't let you shoot me down. Fuck with me now. 1,143 of my people down. I'm still mourning over Sean Bell and Michael Brown. I ain't gonna hold you, your honor, it might go down. Ruler steps.
My nigga Kenyattah, that nigga Daz, Brooklyn to Cali, Long Beach, New York. You already know. Divine Allah Zigzag.
Divine Allah Zigzag. Yo, Lord. You got to tell me something. You got to tell me everything you can tell me about something that you need to tell me about something about everything about something. Because I need the zig. I need that other zig. You know what I'm saying? I need that other zig.
Big shout out to Billy Danzini, MOP. First Family, Brownsville First Family. A big shout out to my brother Brooklyn Chance for helping with the chorus. He had a different light, so I got to give him his credit on it, as well as Priest. I walk like the God that was born in the Mars. That's a joke on me. That's Priest's inside joke on me. That's a personal one. I walk like the God I was born in a boss. I was crying. Sketch the first architect, Razah, marvelous, dealing with stars. See, it shows. I don't want to be cocky. It just shows a level of if this brother is going to spit this type of verse on this, it shows what I'm know and what I'm capable of doing. So it was a boost of energy and a major shout out to me. You know, I felt super vindicated and honored with that. You know, I was like, wow, the way he painted, because that's what he do. He paint a visual picture that if you don't know, I'm gonna give you something. That's beyond a cosign. So along with my brother Daz Dillinger, you know, he was the reason for Ruler Steps remix. It was I did Ruler Steps, and I was happy with that as a first single from the album, and I got a call from Daz one day saying, "Yo, let me get on the remix." I was like, "What remix?" Send me that beat, boo. And when I sent him that track and he sent his verse back, I just seen a whole universe open up. Like, wow.
Right.
He showed his dedication and the coach of, you know, because I did everything in my power to go outside of representing and using or misrepresenting different titles and brands. I just wanted to stand on my own 2 feet. And hopefully the fans will catch up and figure out I didn't walk out of the clouds with this. I was born and raised in this culture. So whatever blessings I'm receiving is because I was here and I'm supposed to receive them. You know, this ain't a bunch of marketing schemes for me. This is, and you can hear it in their bars. You know, you can hear it in Billy Dan's bars. You can hear it in Daz Dillinger and Killah Priest bars. This is personal. This is, you know, to make these songs. The same with Planet Asia. These ain't dudes I'm just trying to make songs to big up my career or buy some type of fans with. These are my brothers that we making these songs for consciousness and awareness, especially in days. That's what the purpose would be for. If I get some money down the way from music, that'd be dope. But that's not what this was about.
His discography is available on Bandcamp. Go buy it 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 on Bandcamp. Buy the discography on Bandcamp. Go buy it on Bandcamp.
I'm sure you would, if you're a hip hop fan, if you love Killah Priest, I'm a student of Killah Priest. I come from out of that Royal Priesthood. You might have not heard me on certain albums, but I was there. I was in the background. I influenced a lot of certain things within that, you know, because those are my brothers, you know, Shining Star with Sons of Man. I'm right there with Wyclef. So these is called things people don't see. You know,
I'm Natty Kane of the Wu-Tang. Oh my goodness, yo.
So by the time they get in to hear me with my brothers, that's natural. That's something we was doing in the parks for free. That's something we was doing in bathrooms and clubs. When the clubs was having fun, we was in the bathroom rhyming. A lot of times we was just rapping somewhere. You know, backstage is giving each other hell, sharpening the sword.
Right.
So I could blend in. I could have been in the group Sons of Man. I could have been on the Swarm album. I could have been on that album. But I just was a roadie with John Forte at the time and proudly listening to the Swarm on the tour bus. Like, wow, look at my brothers. Look at my brothers go. Happy. When the Swarm came out, I was happy because I was on the tour bus.
I heard Maya Lansky, Where Was Heaven? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
All through the years. I'm just the last rose petal from that time. And they just getting a chance to see that now. You know. From a 30-year period. Yeah, like I could have been on so many of those albums through the years as a 16-year-old, as a 19-year-old. Like I was around all of that. I was doing music during that time. Office Space soundtrack when I was 19, which was produced by John Forte. But I just wasn't per se at home all the time with the clan. That was easy to do. Go home to Restoration with Papa Wu in the temp chamber, you know. And I was rooting for that. So I always knew that was a lane that was going. I didn't always think I fit in. I didn't think it was a deal on the table for me in that way. So I always expanded and went other places, you know. But I always kept that flag in my heart of hearts to rep the original family, that W. You know.
Next to the greatest and only flag in the universe.
Yes. A reflection of it. A reflection of that wisdom. The black and gold, the black, white, and gold.
Where's it from? Got to check out the W. Got to check out. Yeah. So let's talk about touring. You know, I was going to ask you, you know, how you connected with Daz, but, you know, and how you went from Daz to Divine Allah Zigzag, you know. Maybe we'll do that at another time. Unless you want to add on.
Well, Rule of Steps is the reason for that, because we knew each other through the years with Horsemen. The Horsemen is a deep group because it shows connection of the East and West Coast. What people forget, it's no slaughterhouse. This is the prototype for the slaughterhouse. Eminem didn't think about having Royce and them together in a 4-man group like that. But I was around a group like that already. It was Killah Priest, Kaz, Corrupt, and Cannabis. And in that formation, you know, and I was around Cannabis when he was on tour with Wyclef. So seeing him with Priest, that was natural, you know. But to get a call about Ruler Steps, to just get on the song to help, he saw my vision during that time. And it also let me see what was in his heart of hearts, you know, just building as men, you know, just going over old stories and histories about who we are. And he was interested in the knowledge of self. And he took it on like a fish to water, where this brother is brilliant in his memory. He's a multitasker. This Gemini is something else. You know, this brother is something else. He do a lot of things that people would write movie script, was taking care of his dying pops at the time. He was doing a lot, as well as a kennel of dogs, and still sit down. And the reason I'm speaking over 120 like it's nothing, because they think they just in New York. They take it for granted. That brother knowledge 120 and took it serious. And he earned his name, which is named after my stepdad. So I thought it was brilliant in his application of 120 and learning and asking questions and really being serious about it. And so that when brothers was going to approach him when I wasn't around, you know, they saw him. He got jewelry with big flags on it. He got that. So he lived it out. So run up on him, see what he know. That's why his name is Divine Allah Zigzag, because he wants you to gain your own understanding. The knowledge and wisdom is in the zigzag, but he left off the last zig for savings. Understanding in that sense, you know. Yeah, that's a good brother.
And to hear him with Dance, because, you know, he's on Dance's album, you know, also. He's on Danz's album. So this is all like the same time. You see what I'm saying? So it's bugged to hear that, and I love that Danz album. You know, Method's on there, Cormega's on there. You know, Danz and Fizzy Woke get back on the song together. You know what I mean? Like it's a complete album. His son's on the album. You know what I mean? Like it's like a whole, you know, when you do it like that, it's like, yeah, this is crazy. Yeah. And when I heard Daz on the joint, I'm like, I remember he was on, Daz was on like IG Live, and Cormega popped in the chat, and he's like, yo, Mega, I want you on this album, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, you seeing it, right? You seeing it like, oh, man, like, and then you hear it, and it's like, oh. Yeah.
That new Smith & Wesson coming.
Yes.
Serious. I heard some already. I'm proud of my brothers, of course, always lyrically, but to see Daz in his element, knocking out this production is different.
Finally, right? Finally, after so many years, all of the stuff people might have attributed to Dre, you finding out, it was Daz, it was Superfly, it was, you know what I'm saying, a couple other people that was there too, in addition to what he did.
It was Michael Alexander playing they said everything. They said all type of, it was Hitman. But I watched them do it. I watched them.
DJ Quick. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Quick
like
is definitely another. I watched Daz do it in 5 minutes. He produced Dump on him on my new album. He produced that. I watched him do that in 5 minutes, and then he went to go feed the dog, and I just finished that song before we came back. I'm like, nah. Oh, that's what you could do in 5 minutes. Watch what I could do. And what was deep about that to me was I was happy with what I heard, what I did. He pushed my 2 verses to the side and jumped in the middle.
Right.
That wasn't, I did my job and was happy with that. He jumped on it. I'm like, wow, he produced it and he rhymed on it. That's my brother, y'all. That's my brother. Word. So I'm proud of our work, you know, especially in the culture, because I know it's only going to get better. We're going to reach the people all across the planet, you know, with our unity. Right. A lot of ways, just because we travel, you know.
Yeah, shout out to Coach Kenyattah, you know, for making this possible, right?
Always,
you know,
yes.
Or Oracle backing like she does. You see what I'm saying? Like we quarterback and she Oracle backing out here. You know,
she got me bending spoons out here.
Word.
I bend spoons for Queen, Coach Kenyattah. I definitely bend spoons for that. That's a righteous earth and a connector, a Kenyattah. Her Wu-Tang name is Kenyattah. She connected the spirit, the
right,
all chambers, the you know, the captain, lieutenant, and the private soldier. She connect
That's
that.
It.
You know.
Word up. Word up.
Yeah, I was blessed to get those type of joints, and you know, to see those type of joints be made through the years. Right. I watched these studio sessions for years. AZ, Nas, Wu-Tang, but to watch the Horsemen, and they when there was an idea, I watched them get busy with Pharaoh Monch in the studio as a feature. I watched them go crazy on tracks. So to later do tracks with Daz later on and it makes sense and it sound good is another thing, you know, because sometimes it don't make sense. You can't just make it. You just mashing things together and it might don't make sense. But I'm blessed to do work with them brothers and it makes sense, you know.
Yeah, Krista Glove Taylor is another one, another unsung in the Dr. Dre pantheon. You know what I mean? Another one of them crazy Geminis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we be out here. We be out here. You know. Yeah. So yeah, it's dope. Daz and Glove. You know what I'm saying? At that time, doing what they doing. So a young Justin Blaze. Different side of time. You know what I'm saying? Like it was something we were adding on about, Lord, about seeing where he would be, you know, before he might have seen it in himself, type situation.
Yeah, I seen him engineering. I seen him behind the boards already. A young mastermind already a deep nerd for the electrical application. But who knew he had beats? Who really knew? You know, he kind of dressed a little weird at the time for us, and it just was like, yeah, he a cool brother out of Jersey. And when he played his beats, it was like, wow, this is what you could do with sampling and what you could do without sampling.
Right.
He showed both worlds. And at a young age, we was able to pick some of the greatest beats before anybody else could pick them. We was able to sit there and go, yo, that's him. You know, we saw it. Maybe before he saw it in himself, we saw it, you know, when he was making songs for A View from Masada and Solomon's Temple and all of that. I remember Solomon's Temple, Ray and Solomon Priest writing a verse and making it as visual. That was my favorite joint on there because he was going crazy. And I'm watching even Just Blaze getting hype about it because I'm seeing him becoming himself. And from there, I seen what he gave to Cannabis and then to Big Pun. And then we couldn't see him anymore. He was gone. Like after Big Pun, he was gone. We never seen him again. I probably seen him in a club Mobile Mondays after that. To Mobile Mondays. I ain't see him to Mobile Mondays. I had to come there with some low life, some a piece he didn't have to get his attention. The fly genius, Just Blaze. That dude is super talented, man. And Killah Priest, without Killah Priest, the world wouldn't have knew Just Blaze. I can honestly say that as a fly on the wall watching that. He was definitely a talented guy, but Priest introduced him to the world. You know, he was the first. But even before Cannabis, it was Priest. We saw that. We saw that in that, and during that album time, it was like, oh, wait up, he got something. We need to take as much as we can get Priest. This boy is dangerous. We seen it. Emil saw it. We saw that talent at that time. Right. Where it was like, wow. Big shout out to Just Blaze and the Blazettes.
Just Blaze? God still the bankroll. Yo, what Coast got in
the Blazettes.
Yeah, Just Blaze and the Blazettes. Yeah.
My little character. Okay,
word up. Okay, Blicker is famous, man. Famous. Infamous. You know what I'm saying? So navigating, right? Like, because we keep talking to it, around it, all of that. How many different modalities have you had in addition to being an artist in the industry?
From my very start, I was in a Universal Soldiers. At 11, 12 years old, we started a group where it was 6 guys and 1 girl in the early 90s. And this was the group that met Sons of Man, along with that the group I told you before. But now those SOB, Funk, and Maria Davis, the 2 hottest female promoters at the time. If you could get their attention and be on any of their flyers, you probably would have been the next up and coming artist to get signed. It just was, it almost like getting on a mixtape, you know, for brothers uptown and Harlem. Them getting on mixtapes, that was like, you know, you heard Children of the Corn, you heard Cameron and them, you knew they was coming.
Right.
For us out in Medina, doing demos here and there, we had to go perform whatever we had live. SOBs, the Muse, we had to be at those spots, just getting in where we fit in. And a lot of times the live performance was effective because we met a lot of our peers. We seen Redman and all these guys at these same spots, you know. And proving ourselves as the group, we ran into a childhood friend, John Forte, who was A&R'ing for a new label called Rawest Entertainment. So when we went with that label, they signed 3 out of the 7. They broke the group up. And instead of me becoming jaded with that, you know, I wound up becoming street team promotion and art direction for Rawest. So I did all the first logos at that time. You know, the Razah, the Rose family's Rose, Papa Bear Cool Breeze, his beer, 7 Universals, the logo with the universe and the triangle going around. These was the first things that I did while sitting in a cubicle alongside my friend John Forte. May he rest in peace. You know, he signed that group. So when that happened, a member of the original group, 7 Universal Soldiers, went to the group Born in Hell, and then they formed the group, the Rose family, and then they signed to Rawest as the second rap group after 7 Universal. And these both are within the same crew. We call it the Population Clique. So we happy to have 7 members out of our crew be signed to a label, and having one of our members being the A&R of the label. So it was a blessing for that, you know, in that time. It just, you know, I was forced to not, you know, to not focus on hip hop at the time. But prior to that, I was an artist by the name of Vital the Arab from the Universal Soldiers. So when that happened, I'm just working through those years as doing logos, street team promotion, putting up stickers until Forte meets Lauryn Hill. And then when he meets Lauryn Hill, we go to Columbia Records together. I get a job as a street team promoter over there, and he gets signed as an artist just a little after the Score's success. He do 4 beats for the Score, and he take me with him to go work up there, and that's when we start touring on the Smoking Grooves tour. While being a roadie, I'm still writing, but I'm starting to form the character Viatola Khomeini now. rather than Vital, the Arab. I was a young guy in that group. The group is dismantled, but now I'm a soloist, Ayatollah Khomeini, and I'm wearing jewelry. I'm 19. I'm in on songs. I'm on Office Space soundtrack, and I'm starting to make my sprinkles through the underground, the so-called underground, which wasn't even a thing at that time. It just was independent white labels being pushed, or who you know. And I was fortunate to know Forte, who was producer for the Fugees at that time, and knowing people at Interscope Records got me a song placement on the Office Space soundtrack. So that would be my first solo artist placement. And just you know, they didn't say Ayatollah Khomeini on the record. They said Black Man on the record, featuring Destructing Icon. So I still couldn't escape who I naturally am, you know. They said Black Man featuring Destructing Icon on the song Home on the Office Space soundtrack. So that would be my first official placement as an artist or solo artist on Interscope Records. You know. And it wasn't until Cannibal Wax put out their second album after 15-year hiatus, after Cold Vein to Blade of the Ronin, is where you finally get to start to hear Kenyattah Black. Right before that, it's an album, a solo album that Vast puts out called Ox 2010. And I feature with him on a song called The Can of the Salmons. And that's when they get me as Kenyattah Black, my return. You know. And I just keep campaigning from there from 2010 on as Kenyattah Black, you know. Until maybe 2016, I put out my own official release as a solo artist with that title. But yes, I always was Blackman Allah. That's always been me. That's my name from birth.
Yeah.
It's hard telling my rapper friends I'm Kenyattah Black. They call me Black Man. They gonna call me Black Man. You hear Planet Asia, I'm Black Man.
Blackman Allah. Yeah. Hold up. So Kenyattah Black, where does that come from in your eyes?
Kenyattah Black comes from, to be honest, Donald Goins.
I was about to ask.
It comes from watching Donald Goins. It comes from reading it and not getting locked up. Not getting locked up. Not being in, just having those books at home in the projects and saying, out of all of these characters, out of every book I read, he have, out of even with Robert Beck and Pimp and all these type of books and Iceberg Slim, I said out of every character I ever read, this guy's similar to me. He got the women, they his secretaries, it's no disrespect, it's militant brand. I said, wow, Kenyattah. Let me research what that name means. Then when I go research, I go down a rabbit hole with Jomo Kenyattah, and then you get the Mau Mau's, and then you go to Kilimanjaro, and you go to the Music Man in Kenya. And when I hit Music Man, I said, wow, that's it. I'll keep it. I'll just make sure the H is on it for me, so they know that's me, and it makes sense. So in the neighborhood, once I said that, the first time I said it, my brothers, Allah and Shabbat, Daddy Rose and them, they'd be like, yo, K Bligger, K Black. So it stuck. It stuck a long time ago. I was Kenyattah Black a long time ago, way before, being on the mic. That was also it was a alter ego, like besides Kenyattah Black. I mean, besides Blackman Allah.
Right.
Blackman Allah was almost so concentrated that I would wind up building about Blackman Allah more than anything. You know, people take that on face value all the time. That can't be your name. Your mom ain't named you that. So what's your birth certificate say?
There they go, right? There they go.
It always start with that. My name is Blackman. Blackman? You ain't that dark. You ain't mad they call you that?
You ain't mad.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be ashamed and hurt when people call me that. When people hear that, they think, especially old folks, they used to think, that can't be. That's a bad thing. You ain't that black. You was
Black
dark
man.
when you was a baby? like they just, people just, their imagination with Black man is crazy.
They ain't got no problem calling you N-word. You know,
yeah.
Black man, that's a challenge. That's a stretch.
7 years old, they looking at me, Black man. That can't be your name. That can't be your
name. Hey, come here, mister. You trying to be funny? Mr. Black man. Come here, Mr. Black man.
They had to be mad because I'm writing this on my heading in school.
Right.
PS 284, class 1 dash Blackman Allah. Like, what the hell is going on? But the only thing saved me is I got classmates that got similar names, but they last names ain't that though.
Right.
You know, I got Bashim Daniels in my class.
Yeah.
I got Deshaun Simmons in my class.
Right.
You know, and Deshaun Simmons' father was Lakeem Allah, and Bashim's father was Noun Allah. So right there in the community, it was 5%ers. It was school teachers that was 5%ers. So it wasn't so foreign. It just was, wow, they serious? They did this? They did this in 79? Really? This is what y'all doing? Oh, they serious. What's his brothers and sisters' name? Queen Aisha. Divine Naeem Ahmed. Takesha Alicia. So when they gotta look like, okay, that's who they are. There's Queen Aisha. Them. That's because we was out there doing our duty.
Right.
None of that. You saw us in Brownsville changing our friends' last names and first names too on the benches. and Queen Earth and Karima and you couldn't come outside no more. I gotta stay in the house. Because this is a law world manifest. This is how we live now. That's how we got that mighty school out there. Akbar saw those kids filling up on them benches during that time. And he saw something in it. I'll give y'all from 3 to 8 civilization classes. What y'all gonna do with it? He gave us the key. He gave us chairs, foldable chairs, and the time to do it. and we had a black and white notebook, and we wrote your first government names and your telephone numbers, and then you registered in with us right there in the neighborhood. You know, you want to come here after school? Sure, write your name and number right here, and and next thing you know, you fasting and you don't eat pork no more. And you in martial arts with Sabu. Yeah, and you meeting some of the greatest and righteous men in the Western Hemisphere. They coming to see these classes. Black Sea Shamgar is coming to see what these brothers is doing down there. And we was happy to have those type of guests sit in and see that we were serious about our civilization classes. And that helped transform our community. And I'm proud of the work we did, and most proud of that. More than anything, the hip-hop thing is a subdivision to what we did in our community in Brownsville, Brooklyn. I'm most proud of that, of what we did in our community and what it continues to shine from it, you know. Even the gangs reflect us. Even when I'm looking at the gangs reflect us. What they ABG and Wu. Right. We on our own. That's God body. When they don't want it, they looking at it. I see where that come from. Y'all ABG and Wu, anybody could get it. Allah born God, I already see where that's coming from. So we were so concentrated in our civilization that even you create these type of universes, and we got to be responsible for all that we done, you know, all of it, you know, especially with this wicked white man.
Where's it from?
Especially with this open enemy. So, but we take the devil off our plane of existence, then that problem don't even exist.
I want to talk about freedom and your relationship with him, but I want to play Caviar Dreams because that's the last joint that I got for you, and you know, tie it in all together, you know, with Love and Loyalty, Marcus Garvey Village, you know what I'm saying? Like all of the relationship with you and Thirstin, everybody, and working in that cipher in regards to some of the things, but you know,
yes, sir.
Talk about your relationship with you and freedom, and also you and power. When we come back.
Big shout out to Al Scratch.
Al Scratch. I was like, yo, is this Al slaying like this? Slaying a flaming sword that turned in all directions.
Al Scratch said, "Don't leave me out of my Brooklyn history. I gotta represent my Brooklyn history." I said, "I got a spot for you, bro. I want the world to know.
Gonna love this." So we here with the one and only Kenyattah Black, man. We walking through his story, not history. We walking through his story. You understand what I'm saying? From the root of civilization and beyond. So tell somebody to tell somebody. We getting busy. We celebrating. We turning up. We outside. You know, whatever y'all need to say to them to get through the tuning over here. Royal Priesthood Wednesdays. Word up. Let's get into it.
Call it what you wanna call it, but it's going down.
Why is the devil settled on the best part? Let's start. Show and prove who to brush with the sword. The Cams, the Chuck Taylor, something major. My weather channel see drip now. A month later, tsunami, she around me. to found me. My earth ain't flesh, she reflects, she around me. Destroy powers, direction is wrong, fuck up, they gone. And my caviar dreams off the dome, prison home. Peace to the gods, all praise for Allah. And the babies are the greatest. Came through in the Holy Ghost to get the praise I got. And that road was amazing.
What it do, what it does, what it is shall be. Already saw it in my caviar dreams. What it do, what it does, what it is shall be. Already saw it in my caviar dreams.
Al Scratch, Brooklyn born, uptown raised. Whole game going through a fuck clown phase. I'm truly not amazed which trails have you blazed. The place where I'm from, bullets don't graze. Full-blown headshots blow out your brains. Sidewalk talk, piss stain your remains, bitch. You move like how a Dane switch. I'm hot on the street cause we speak the same language. This that goddamn monkey man jungle flow. What you expect, like Bernadette, I'm humble though. Pedigree's grown, got the better street bone. The big dogs back home, let it be known. I stay in the zone, I get back to your homes. Lyrically crack your back and fracture your bones. Mayhem or murder, murder or mayhem. Showed no respect, so I deserve the slaying.
What it do, what it does, what it is shall be. Already saw it in my caviar dreams. What it do, what it does, what it is shall be. Already saw it in my caviar dreams.
Let me brush my shoes, ooh, they half pony and gators. I relate to Rockamori, Tasmanian flavors. I escape in Black Star gates, track star shapes. We talk about the facts I say, I make. My caviar dreams are Gucci, kaleidoscope seams. It seems I'm cut from the cloth of the dominant genes. Kenyattah be doing this damn thing. 5-carat man's ring, Schwarzenegger caps, this brawling retarded hamstrings. Heart sings the fly sounds of heartstrings. Like drums, the night comes, I think she liked him. For the Thundercat hoes, I bring the lightning. Musa the lion, no moving like I'm Tyson. Astro plane set to take off, land out in Bangkok. Out there with top beer, it's love to slang talk. Same walking path, so the guards who want the map. Lost and found Muslim lessons, I teach my daughters that. In my backyard, I steam a quarterback and laugh hard. Put up my middle fingers for haters, part in my patois.
What it do, what it does, what it is shall be. Already saw it in my caviar dreams. What it do, what it does, what it is shall be. Already saw it in my caviar dreams. What it do, what it does, what it is shall be. Already saw it in my caviar dreams. What it do, what it does, what it is shall be. Already saw it in my caviar dreams.
Thirstin Howl III on the hook. Understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's bro. Foundation. Marcus Garvey, right across the street from Brownsville housing projects. You got Marcus Garvey Village. Not a housing projects, but a middle-class Caribbean complex with security and some hard-working people over there that got style and grace, you know. So it was almost like a getaway for the project kids. If you was, you know, cool, got people over there that just had a little culture about themselves. And then you got some Billy badasses on that side as well that happen to go by the name of the lowlifes, you know. And they come from the 80s. They come from 88 with older dudes from the Jocelyn era. And then you get a new batch from like 92 that said, I respect what they was doing in 88 to the point where we got to make chapters of that. We got to organize that. And, you know, now we got the world famous lowlifes all around the world, you know. So I'm fortunate in knowing that brother, Thirstin Howl III, since I was maybe 5 years old. He was around the God Cipher Divine as well. He was around Akbars and these type of people. So, you know, same community, you know. And civilization and righteousness comes in different forms. You know, all walks of life. We rub elbows with people of all walks of life. You'll never know to have good intentions in their hearts. You know, that's not on boosting and crime time. So, big shout out to my brother Thirstin Howl for being a person that's taking people into an organized way of thinking, and they cleaning up communities out there in Miami and Orlando, and that extends to different chapters all across America that's following those leads. You know?
Right. A global situation. Love and Lord Chief Weekend this year. We in the building, April 17th through the 19th. Y'all want to see Knowledge Born? Knowledge Born gonna be in the building, filming, interviewing, you know, helping to immortalize something that can't be described by mere words only. So be out there showing love, showing loyalty, showing unity. You know, it's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a place to bring the fam to, and your family is safe. Your family is protected. You're having a good time. You're around good people with the right energy, right vibe. A lot of things happening all over there taking place. You know what I mean? So come down, come down, come down. You know what I'm saying? Bring Priest with you. You know what I'm saying? So whoever coming from Cali, put them in your duffel bag on your carry-on or something. Put them on the plane. You know what I'm saying? And come on down. It's a weekend of greatness. Word up.
Yeah.
So let's talk power. Let's talk Papa Wu. Let's talk. Let's build. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back.
Man. Mighty legacy. I was blessed to. I first got to say, big shout out to one of my cousins that passed away, who I knew all my life. But this is how mathematics work. Larry Merchant video comes on. I'm down in North Carolina on my father's side, and they watching the video. They saying, "Who you know in Tilden Projects?" I'm looking at them like, "How y'all know what Tilden Projects is?" I know where that's at. You got a lot of cousins in there. I'm like, I lived across the street in Brownsville Projects, Brownsville Housing Projects. You got Rockaway and Dumont. You got Rockaway and Livonia. It's just that. So I knew them people all my life. It just so happens 4 or 5 years ago, that was revealed to me that those are my cousins on my father's side. So they started calling those brothers until then. Yo, you know, you got a cousin in Brownsville named Blackman. Now, mind you, we always around each other. This brother, born knowledge, Daddy-O, Brownsville Daddy-O, not East New York, not Stetsasonic, but Brownsville Daddy-O. They called him Cocoloso, OG of Brownsville, out there in Tilden and Marcus Garvey. So to find out that that's my cousin, we start hanging together and just building and just getting close. And then he passed away of cancer. So that touched me. I watched Wu-Tang use that strong brother in a good way because he was a strong brother, meaning, yo, we need that character for Power to play in Belly. We just gonna reverse the name. It's gonna be Knowledge Born. So it's dope.
I appreciate it. You know, I appreciate
he in Belly,
it.
he playing Knowledge Born in Belly, which is a reverse on Born Knowledge. And he talking to Meth like, yo, go get that dude who talk about suck my D and all this and I ain't got no work, or go get this Tommy Buns dude or whatever in the movie. So I think, you know, it comes all the way back around where I lose that brother who was a strong organizing founder for Wu-Tang in the foundation, along with with Uncle Freedom. These was the strong generals of Wu-Tang. They had artists and they had people that was doing things, but you had a behind the scenes strong which was power, which was born knowledge, and which was freedom. So to see these brothers, all three of them, go from cancer, it's devastating. You know, it's very devastating because they was major key parts of what we know to be Wu-Tang right now. The world don't know what these brothers did, but they was very important parts of what we know now to be Wu-Tang. Without power, without our brother Pook from Power Hill, that couldn't happen. These major ingredients was important, just as important as Old Dirty Bastard, just as important. Without Old Dirty, that thing couldn't have happened. You know, without freedom, without born knowledge, aka Daddy-O, that thing couldn't have happened. You know, a lot of that, those well-oiled machine ran well because these brothers ran it well. Those was ringmasters and ringleaders of wild brothers that they had to keep in order. And I have to say that honestly with open hearts, because that's the hardest, one of the hardest jobs to do is to keep 9 men in order, let alone 9 planets, you know. And it took those brothers who was having planets in orbit on a daily places, let alone their kids. They had their own seeds. They had their own family, and they kept those planets in order. So we got to take our hat off and give a major honor and salute to the major foundation of what we know to be Wu-Tang. Because without those brothers, that mighty foundation, that mighty four, we wouldn't have no Wu-Tang. Because it took the 5% Nation. It took strong brothers from out of the 5% Nation to do that. You know, those brothers introduced Islam to the whole world. You know, they kept it going, along with the brothers that they come from, the divine order in which they come from, which is the Allah World Manifest. That kept perpetuating that. You know, we might blame it on other things that we seeing nowadays based on popularity, but if it wasn't for this mighty group of brothers, let alone multimedia, they was moving mountains for this culture, you know. So we got to give it up to those brothers. It wasn't just about rap for them. It wasn't just about clothing for them. They cared about in their hearts of hearts that the next generation could be organized and walking upright and perpendicular on their square, you know. So I love when they even talking about them. I gotta be dead serious with it and come to those brothers, you know. Rest in peace to Power. Rest in peace to A-Sun Unique. Rest in peace to Born Knowledge, and rest in peace to Uncle Freedom. Because he was major. I've been seeing him my whole life. That guy was always who he was. That wasn't no act. Power wasn't no act. These wasn't, Old Dirty wasn't no act. That wasn't no act. That was the lyrical professor that we was dealing with. That energy was something else. You know, those guys wasn't acting at all. They were dead serious about everything they was doing. And I'm proud of them, and I'm proud of their works. You know, I was blessed to see them and know them, and I'm proud of them. You know.
I ain't dead yet. I ain't dead yet.
Larry Merchant, Larry Merchant.
Look, Larry Merchant, Larry Merchant. Larry Merchant, Larry Merchant. Larry Merchant, Larry Merchant.
I'm not dead yet.
Why you lay me down in the dirt? I'm not dead yet. Dead. Allah never died. Why you said that? Why you lay me down in the dirt? I'm not dead yet. Look, I got a book that I ain't even read yet. Why you lay me down in the dirt? I'm not dead yet. Dead, dead. Allah never died. Why you said that? Why you lay me down in the dirt? I'm not dead yet. Look, I got a book that I ain't even read yet. Prophecy, the 10 insights in episode supreme math. I know I've been right, representing catch tags. We do what we like. When graffiti writers first meet and ask what you write. Two types, toy and king, just like joy and pain. All depends really on what. The more you bring, I'm seeing ya doing your Googles, psychomedia. We used to study dictionaries, encyclopedias. Tiffany nice seeing ya. The class ain't enough. We used to go to where the lies are buried, the ditch for stuff. Mother gassed in heritage house to figure it out. There's more to life than saying my mother punching niggas in mouth. Why you lay me down in the dirt? I'm not dead yet. Dead, dead. Allah never died. Why you said that? Why you lay me down in the dirt? I'm not dead yet. Look, I got a book that I ain't even read yet. Why you lay me down in the dirt? I'm not dead yet. Dead, dead. Allah never died. Why you said that? Why you lay me down in the dirt? I'm not dead yet. Look, I got a book that I ain't even read yet.
Ailey, why they wanna fucking play me? Have them busters ducking crazy when I bust this 80. Trust this brazy bligger. Who raised me, nigga? Elephants don't swat at flies. I slay these niggas. My mind spit the bomb shit. Muhammad, I got your boo all covered up like blue bonnet. I watch you flies drink my spit, then vomit, then eat it back up, then tell me you're Islamic. You worship a comet, a meteorite. I take mental laxatives, they on Pedialyte. I creep in the night and move on fools like Daddy Cool. Fuck a chopper, I disrespect this lane with a spoon. Razah ghoul like Lazarus, they licking my limbs. Holy physician, hoping you listen my sickening hymns. Mission is grim, no days off, I stay working. If I was 50 years young, I would hurt him like Larry Merchant.
Look, Larry Merchant, 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 Larry Merchant. I'm not dead yet.
You got shit. I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass. You won't do shit.
I ain't flying no plane, Hannibal.
It's just entertainment. It's just entertainment. But you throw rocks at the law school, I'm coming at the Kaaba. I don't know what you expect to happen. That's how that's gonna go. Like, and that's my family, so only we could do that. But you come in between our corridors, then they see how Wu-Tang really unite. It ain't no flunkies in Wu-Tang. We all generals. And we got the we blessed to inherit the jobs of our elders. And it's a divine order to do that job, you know. Heavy is the head that wear the crown.
So I know we're gonna do this album review interview. So I strive everything in my heart and spirit not to talk nothing about the album or ask you nothing about the album, because I'm gonna do my own album review, then the album interview that go with the review and the write-up that go with that review on the Understanding Cipher series, my new album review series. So the album review series has 3 parts, hence the Understanding Cipher. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Aspect to it. The knowledge aspect is the album review. The wisdom aspect is the interview with the artist. And the understanding is the culmination of the two via the news blog that I have, VOD News, which is short for Voices of the Diaspora News.
Yes.
So some of the hip hop stories and some of the stories that affect Black culture and the like are featured there. So the hip hop section will be dedicated to promoting those albums. So they'll be found there. And I get the honor and privilege of reviewing this plus degree, plus lesson, the supreme plus lesson. You understand what I'm saying? Masked in the hip hop album form. So you could tell them about the album, tell them where to get the album, and all of that.
Yeah, this latest release I dropped December 25th is the last rose petal. Everything direct for me. Bandcamp is an easy way to to reach it, because I see the notifications fast, just like hitting any DM. But with this last rose petal, it's basically a culmination of being annoyed with people and fans automatically knowing. I gotta say this to my brothers and sisters I grew up with in Brownsville, Brooklyn, that didn't go along this journey with me. They might don't believe it, but Population Click never died. People been talking about this since the inception. Just because we didn't per se get on certain albums with people, or we didn't get on Fuji's album or whatever cosign people expected to get at those certain times. I gotta say, in all my walks and travels throughout the last 30 years, I've been annoyed with what happened to the Population Click, whatever happened to the Ghetto Bible, what's up with Rose Family, I didn't know what happened to Raucous. Is y'all still on Raucous? People ask. People see me in California and just stop me and ask me, and I'll be wondering, like, am I being stopped by the feds? What's going on? How you know? How you know? Because I'm over here as a roadie with this other rap group. And this what happened to me so much that I had to start to work an album and explain that with the last rose petal. A lot of people passed away. A lot of people went to jail. A lot of people a lot of girls got pregnant. A lot of people just got bored and said, I want to go become a postal worker. A lot of people just had responsibilities pile up and they changed directions. Doesn't mean they wasn't ill and they didn't have it in their heart of hearts. But I'm here as a living testament of that time and space, because I didn't get the time to shine during that time. But it doesn't mean my skills didn't depreciate during the years. So I wanted to show and prove that wisdom has no expiration date in my actions. That's what I wanted to do, let alone prove anything to anybody else who didn't want to keep up the flag for the Population Click or the Rose Cartel. So I did that in my actions by explaining that, why I'm the last rose petal. Because nobody else wanted to do it, or people were scared of war, beef, gang life. And I had to do all of that to be this. It takes a lot to be this, but nobody wanted to be that. It wasn't cool. It wasn't popular. I had to do it. I had to stand up in a time. I didn't know my uncles was going to pass. I didn't know these certain things, or Forte was going to pass. But I had to put certain things in perspective in that time, and it just so happens that's what was in the cards for me to release and explain what happened during those years, while we really were the first Wu-Tang affiliates, you know, the first supporting cast, the first believers of Wu-Tang, you know, and proud of it, because I'm proud of the success of where it went and where it still continue to go. So I'm proud of that origin and foundation.
So the album is out. It's available. Like I said, y'all come check me out on Monday nights. The Understanding Cipher album review, where we do the knowledge to the best part of the arts. Okay? So, you know, y'all get to see me on my Dragonfly Jones. You understand what I'm saying? See the best part of the art. Learning from the master is your pay, punk. You understand? If you was practicing your art, you'd be able to see in the dark.
Big shout out to Young Hump, Digital Underground. Big shout out to Voltage Control.
Voltage Controller.
From his mighty contribution. He's the #1 reason why the last Rose Petal was even put together, because I thought his mighty production was a core for me to continue on, you know, with that vision for it. And he gave me a great core 6 songs where it could have just been an EP, but it just started to bloom out into what we see into 11 songs with those features. And, you know, I got my younger brother on the album, 88 Kilos, who was a ill MC in the 90s that helped spearheads like Jinx the Juvie, you know, in his time, or he helped spearheads like Papoose in his time, because he was so hot on the mixtape circuits with E-Dub and so I was happy to showcase my young brother skills. You know, we all adults now, but you know, to see us in this time still doing it, still alive to do it, I was happy about that. You know, as well as every other feature, but all the production I love. Wavy the God, he gave me a dope one for Vengeful Gods. You know, you go out. Those of who that love real hip hop, true hip hop, you got to give this one a chance because it's current. You get my homeboy Great God, ill visual aid. He paints some of the illest visual on his album that you got to go on draw up, you know, because we paint a dope picture for Survival's Remorse, which is on the album. Yeah, I'm proud of this one. It shows my progression from the last one to this one.
Yeah. So you got any final remarks? You got any final words of wisdom you want to add on and tell people where they can find you? Are you doing features? Are you doing collabs? You know what I'm saying? You got any shows you want to plug? You got any masterful merch you want to plug? Because you know you be having the merchandise. You know you're the merchologist over here. You understand what I'm saying? So
well, I don't like to push me on them. I think if they like what they see and it gravitates, they add on to the cipher. But I will say this: I'm doing customs. I'm a logo creator from the foundation, so it's not limited to what they're seeing with my logos and my merch. If somebody have an idea they want to put into activation, they can hit me up and get a logo. They can hit me up and get a custom shirt with their logo, a custom hoodie with their logo. That can be done with no limited space of time. You know, we creators. You know, but you can reach me at KENYTTAH. Don't forget that H. It's so important. If you could always put that H, you will always find me. I'm the one and only Kenyattah Blackman Allah. You know, so they could find Kenyattah just by putting Kenyattah with that H. You know, Google anywhere, it always come back to me. You know, and K Bligger merch is the visual aids with the clothing line that I've been doing, and with this logo right here. This logo right here. Just keeping it simple, and just like Power said, don't do too much, don't do too little. Keep it simple, and sell them the hamburger that you have. You don't gotta sell them a bunch. Sell them the product you have, and that's the advice I got from my big brother Power. May he rest in peace. You know, major jewel. You know, don't do too much. Do what you can, and be proud of what you do have and what you could do. And that's my advice to the world. You know, don't jump outside looking for all type of trends to jump on. We trendsetters. We set all things into motion. We are the masters of the day of judgment. And what we want, we will. And what we will, we could accomplish. So it's just as easy as that. We are who we are because we will who we are. You know. And with that said, I'm here. You can find me. You know, you could definitely reach me. I'm not hard to reach. I'm always outside. I'm at all the events. And we could definitely build if you want to collaborate. There's no problem. I'm here for this culture. If you want to build about this mighty culture of our God, Allah World Manifest, you could reach me, Blackman Allah. And if you're dead serious about it, send your kids even more, from 5 to 15, and I'll get them tight. Right.
God, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. Building, reconnecting. We air like, and we be alike, so we see alike.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And major cornerstone, impactful on so many levels. Excited to be on this journey with you, Lord. I need a understanding Cipher logo. You know what I'm saying? It's with you on some merch, so I'm gonna be one of those.
Got
you.
You
Know what I mean? You know what I mean? Gotta get branded out here. You understand?
Yeah, we're gonna take a psychological profile of what needs to be done, and it's gonna be something that fit you, and the world gonna see it and automatically think of you. That's how those logos are made, so it could last 10,000 years, just like what Wu-Tang did, just like what I did with the Rose family. You know, they gonna know what it is. That's the guarantee. They see that razor, that raucous razor, they know what it is.
Right. So I need something. I'm gonna get something. So when y'all see it, if like, yo, Niles, that's dope. That's not me, son. That's the other KB. You know what I'm saying? That's him. There's only one, and that's him. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all getting a glimpse into a natural conversations that we have. Y'all just happen to, it looked like some type of podcast on the outside looking in. Y'all breaking the fourth wall of our natural conversation right now. This is one of my dear brothers. So this is an honor to do. You know.
One a minute. So KB gonna make knowledge born in no limited time.
Yes, sir.
Twice. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all see KB on do the knowledge, we're gonna be doing the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That's straight like that. So shout out to my air like, shout out again to the Oracle, Coach Kenyattah for connecting us twice. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And excited for the future. Excited to do this live. Excited to do this in person on tour. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these other aspects. Word. Put me in, Coach.
Put me in, Coach.
Please with her. Yeah, with her and all her work. You know,
I'll be happy to be on the bench. I'm happy to be on the bench.
Word.
She might think I'm not happy to be. I'll be happy to be on the back burner. At least I'm on the stove.
Right.
But you in good graces when you with Coach Kenyattah. If you want to get your business in order, period. If you want to get your mind together, period. Reach out to Coach Kenyattah. You're gonna get your business tighter. I affectionately call her Betty Shabazz. You don't do that. That's my place to do that. But Betty Shabazz she would keep the things in order. That's what she do. She made Mega Ebbets College and all type of stuff. Right. That's what she do.
Right.
That's the professor in Oracle, Coach Kenyattah. Get at her if you want to get your life in order.
Only if you want to.
Okay. But you need
only if you want to. Yeah. Only if you want to.
You don't keep running, paying these rabbit holes and still be lost. You want to be a part of the winner circle. That's my advice to you, Coach Kenyattah.
That's what it is right there.
Right direction.
Honest to the true and living God, man. Blackman Allah, affectionately known in the music world sometimes as Kenyattah Black.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate the time, Lord. I'm going to hit you after I wrap up. Add on real quick before we shut it down.
Yes, sir. Always a pleasure. Salute. Peace to the God.
For the spirit of the living creatures were in the wheels. The wheels lifted up, the doors were sealed shut. They said, let us build. When the creatures went, the wheels went by them. I was in deep suspense and gliding 2 billion miles away. Clouds begin to fade, I'm in the horizon. We flying, way beyond science. Stars in alignment, Mars and Orion. Through the fog where the guards camouflage. Cameras off as we climbing. Lights are soft in this climate. I see the likes of Thoth and the Mayans. On course, caught up in the diamond. It was infused in a huge cube, crystal quartz that was shining. And when the living creatures spoke to me, the wheels spoke. And whenever the creatures turned, the wheels followed. They were really fast, the wheels slow. Like candles lit in the cosmos, like a dance with a glow. Moving camps in the road. A hand from the burning lamp hands me a scroll. The language looked ancient. It was burned in a stone. Parts were still on fire. I blew on it, but it wouldn't go out. Even waved it, tried to smother it, shake it, still wouldn't go out. The stone became a scroll. The words filled my mouth, feeling awakened. Hypnagogic, darkness slipped the conscious. Hypnopompic, conflict, sleep paralysis. Reach from a calculus, speak to an alchemist. 24 seats of astrologists. Telling priests where the balance is. Out-of-body experiences. UFO Negro. Neo Soul was Angie Stone. D'Angelo Lauren Maxwell. To listening to Jordan Maxwell. Illuminati 666. Anthony Hilda. Humanity killed us. Society's anxieties. Unfamiliar with real love. Back to the 4 creatures with the will above. Beelzebub, get bail as blood. Little children, call them kids to sacrifice. There are no feelings. Project builders, watch how they act tonight. Between the cherubims, just ahead was paradise. The sound from a serpent, wore a turban with sapphire and agonite. Nazarites aborted the wheel and left the wheel. Counter right, then up the left. Steps going clockwise. Down the light, up the ladder, and counterclockwise. Eastward to the south side. Northwards towards the orbs. Their wings stretched outward. The wheels spoke at the same time. The creature's wings all combined, forming a spine. No man know the day nor the time. Then I sped up real fast, so fast I became a gas. A wind, a breath into this glass. Circling and circling, open the windows of the craft. Stardust was coming in, feathers, pressure of the draft. Flash and peace at last. From the synagogue to the mosque back to Nassau. I told my story, they erased my name. Now from society I'm blackballed. Carry the weight of remorse chaos and confusion at equal measure. As I return to my throne with my foot on the black stone with Hebrew letters. Silence swallows my courts. The justice becomes stiff as a corpse. As the weight of my words sit in their thoughts. Priests of infinite force. Their faces etched with questions. It shook like an etch-a-sketch. Out the text, how did he resurrect? I'm out of the second death, the house of Melchizedek. Not dying, just held my breath. Start climbing from hell steps. The gravity of the situation began to settle. They said horrified, he's in the skin of the devil. An eerie suspense, each discovery echoed. Chambers of whispered fears and fractured stories of my missing years. Now I'm back on glory. The enigmatic writings with the tip of a lightning is frightening. In my textbook, the death put with hearses, writing fork green verses and red hooks. Inside of my bed-style bars, it's all shots. I found skills in Brownsville, wall to wall with ops. More things to jot, more things to watch. From the tash push to Flatbush, the ring around the block, all the hood flicks and Bushwick. It's like I wrote with a bullet. From my memoirs gun, triggers, ideas pulled it. The results unschooled the reality. Sun Tzu's mentality, this kung fu that balanced me. The T makes me the Alpha Omega MC. I died laughing, attended my own funeral, left wine glasses, shedding tears of joy, like weddings, in the atmosphere near destroyed. My index on Jesus' death, till I get my point across. Took the stride of torrents, trying to wipe the anointing off. Lamps with no oil, y'all vessels for the devil. Throw shade, roll over in your grave, I got the shovel. My face in the terror. Read your palm, see the storm, escape from the ghetto. Where the air thickens a pair of griffins above the stained glass window sitting. Angels clash in my writtens. There's blood, painting, ashes in my scriptures. Back off, this ain't what you asked for, it's forbidden. You don't need a passport, all you need is a thought, it's cemented. Dimensions, you're going in and coming out every sentence. Peace to Kai Zodiac, Star Map Ascension. Priesthood recordings, standing ovation, the whole nation. I can see Julius Caesar applauding. The search now through purple clouds. Shout out to Thirstin Howl, polo shirts through power. Ourselves roar across, Ralph Lauren, behold a pale horse. Young men that fell court, some sell, some snort, some nail to the cross, while others make bail. That's jail in New York, in every city, state, and every coast. Though there's plenty ways to never choke, never choke.
Project Funeral. 2020's a rough one. Left me hungry. Time for the repass. As I approach the steeple gates, it's all slow, feeling like a ghost. And I don't know none of these people face my defeated souls in a low state. No breaks, one day uncle, next day auntie. Still gotta show faith. Here I am, some say a demigod, I demonstrate. Having cake, I walk on tracks just like Baron Straight. Penetrate your inner walls without slight force. My choice, Katie coming at you like a dark horse. Day I was born, the moon turned the blood, the sky turned gray. The black light released from the gate, released from the state of ignorance. I stay away from living bliss. I don't play in the wilderness. Gefilte fish, Aladdin, I will grant your wish. Had a dream, swimming upstream, gorillas in the mist. Black tears, distilled hearts, heavy like gravity. The casualties becoming casual. What a tragedy.
Shower posse Shogun, ashy fist stuff you out. Slap box, staircase, bare face, Anunnaki's out. Peace to all my welfare money flippers. Barbershop clippers on the side of my 7. What a lovely picture, pouring righteous scriptures, the wise elite. Blackman Allah, Papa for Jabbar, the superhero adventures. Alchemist airbenders. I tear through space with a sonic boom interest. Traveling through the 5 stages. The family is landed, owner of the planet. Stoners of the canvas, soul controller planners. Soundwave weaponry, foul famine spreading through the lanes like leprosy. Pledge allegiance to this mackin'. Observe, respect, and move carefully. As many eyes watching, look at everything skeptically. Today's math is double the digit. We in the building with our feet up. You are now tuned to the true and living. We in the building with our feet up. You are now tuned to the true and living.
Project Funeral. It's like the more I help, the less you do. But little nigga, here's the truth. Nothing will work unless you do. No, I don't need no yes man that might camp to gas and get me in. When being disciplined, it took me to places that motivation can't. How are we not ashamed? It's not a game where nowadays a youngin' will go on IG live to piss on his ops' grave. How can we not complain? Look how many cops done shot and slain. There's a lot of names till these politicians treat us like this is not a thing. The block you from's like the same block me and my niggas from. Some things that happened would have turned out better if the pigs didn't come. I might pull out the fresh tux. And yeah, I know it's messed up, but these the only times of the year I see the whole fam all get dressed up. Project Funeral. Project Funeral.
In the occult ominous, omens obituary, witches scary, niggas bury vision blurry, cemetery, rosemary, souls ready. Crown of thorns, the robes are heavy. The ground gets warm as a ghost come get me. Energy gone, involved into infinity forms. They're egging me on from the projects to pockets of storm. From feeders to 9mm screamers, sirens silence. Can't hear the speaker or preacher. Spirit leaves us, the non-ether, the grim reaper, the gatekeeper. Cause of gang violence, insane asylums, the eagle is latest talents. With spirit wings, every soul must weigh in balance. Till you hear them playing violin. The youth shooting each other to sip the fountain. May your tears pour like tequila. And shot glasses for the Aztecs we had blessed as God figures. God figures.
Love the Royal Priesthood, Mark the Buddha, Sekou the Madman, Killah Priest, 4th Chambers, 4th Fuji. This beat sound like something I wear. You dig? Yo, hold on my people, why you walking around like you equal? They wrote you in as 3/5. What we gon' do about this? Talk too much, you end up like Jimi Hendrix in 27 Club. You want that knowledge? Well, I'm the plug. Knowledge itself is the drug. And I keep dropping the nugs. Culture pushing, wisdom spitting, pimping simpletons into listening. Yawning while you spewing fiction. I can feel the tensions in your intentions. I wonder if that's John's in heaven. If God is white, why he write that Brownsville the sun? They give us reparations, that's when the apocalypse begun. Yeah. Red rhyme, okay. Yeah. Red rhyme, better rhyme. Grab your guns, daughters and sons. Wasn't long ago when they had us hung. Blood on the leaves, frontal crumbled in between. Exhale for my ancestors that prevailed. We inhale, so we inhale, dodging death every day. Just happy I'm here to tell the tale. Meanwhile, y'all with the pigs and them tattletales. I'ma just be a scientist if it all fails. Mixing chemicals like a cocktail. My tree smell like it's from the tropical. So not for sale, never settle. Follow the tears on the trail. Nah.
That whole African American thing is to omit, you see, the indigenous black man of this particular land. When we brought the African American term, we cut out all of the Caribbean, all of South America, all of Latin America. And this is another way to reclassify you, you see what I'm saying, outside of power.
We got blacks, whites, brown and yellow. We got red, those with dreads found from the ghetto. We got bullet led and misled, the smile of the devil. On the face of the moon, heart pound like a rebel. Hear the sound of the metal. War in Iraq, 6 feet underground with the shovel. All over the map, the Bible said signs of the time. The Torah said that's your God, not mine. The Holy Quran says it's all Allah designed. The Buddhist says let's meet at the shrine. Thou shalt not eat of the swine. That you is the cut, sure as blue as the blood. Killah Priest in the temple, Nehru is the love.
That's a political move that was put in by the government to break you down to this subclass, you see, and not be a world community. So to call you an African American is to disconnect you from that global community and that great diaspora that we were talking about. So that's a political move. Yes, come on. The average Native American was this brother's complexion at the turn of the century. Now when you say Native American, it's some white person with a feather in his hair.
This is Jody with your weekly video on the esoteric news where ancient knowledge meets current events. Hey everyone, hello. So today's video is all about the legendary neo-soul queen Erykah Badu. But not just as a singer, songwriter, and cultural icon. Today, we're exploring Erykah Badu's identity as a modern-day witch. From the rituals she's performed to the perfume she famously made using her own panties, to the men who've called her a sorceress. We're going to uncover why Erykah embodies the archetype of a witch in the 21st century. So, Erykah Badu was born Erica Wright in 1971 and is often called the Queen of Neo-Soul. Her music blends jazz, R&B, and hip-hop with deeply spiritual and often esoteric themes. But beyond her music, Badu has built an aura that goes far beyond the stage. She's known for her flowing garments, head wraps, incense-filled perfume, and a presence that feels otherworldly. Fans and critics alike have said that she doesn't just sing, she casts spells. Erykah has openly embraced the idea of being a witch. She has said in interviews, "I'm a healer, I'm a witch, and I'm a lover." In modern times, the word witch doesn't necessarily mean someone stirring a cauldron or practicing dark magic. Instead, it often refers to women or men who embrace ancient traditions, natural healing, ritual and spiritual empowerment. It's about intuition, energy, and blending reality with intention. For Badu, being a witch is tied to her identity as a healer and a spiritual guide. She practices meditation, herbalism, and has even worked as a certified doula, helping bring new life into the world. One of the most famous examples of Erykah's witchy practices came in 2020 when she released a perfume called Badu's Pussy. Yes, you heard that right. She said she created it by cutting up her own worn underwear, burning them into ash, and using the essence in the fragrance. And when asked about it, she explained that it was ritualistic, transforming something deeply personal into an object of power. And it sold out almost immediately. This shocked the mainstream, but in witchcraft traditions, personal items like hair, clothing, or bodily fluids have always been used in rituals for their strong energetic imprint. Badu, whether knowingly or instinctively, was drawing on ancient magical practices. And Erykah has been very open about her use of ritual. She's spoken about lighting candles, burning sage, practicing sound healing, and connecting with her ancestral energy. She even designed her Dallas home to feel like a temple, filled with crystals, herbs, and spiritual tools. She admitted to practicing astrology, tarot, and studying African spiritual traditions. And if you've ever been to one of her live shows, you know it feels more like a spiritual ceremony than a concert. The incense, the chants, and the call and response. It's a ritual in motion. Now let's talk her legendary influence over men. Erykah Badu has dated some of the most talented hip-hop artists, including Andre 3000 of Outkast, Common, and the DOC, as well as Jay Electronica. And time again, her exes have said, half joking, half serious, that she's a witch. Common once said that after dating Badu, he found himself changing his style, his diet, and his mindset. And Andre 3000 admitted that she transformed him, inspiring Outkast's more experimental phase. Fans even noticed that after dating her, men seemed to evolve artistically, but also they never seemed quite the same. This phenomena is sometimes called the Badu effect. Some say it's her energy, others call it a spell. So, is Erykah Badu really a witch? Well, in modern terms, yes. Being a witch today is about reclaiming personal power, honoring intuition, and creating rituals that align with your spirit. It's about healing, creativity, and using energy to transform yourself and others. Erykah Badu does all of that through her music, her lifestyle, her spiritual practices, and her unapologetic self-expression. Erykah Badu may not be stirring potions in a cauldron, but she doesn't need to. Her music, her energy, her rituals, they all weave together to create a spell that has captivated the world for decades. Maybe that's why she's not just the queen of neo-soul, but she's the high priestess of it. So there you have it. There's a little bit about Erykah Badu and witchcraft. If you've enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Share it with a friend. And make sure that you follow me for more deep dives into the hidden side of music, culture, and spirituality. Until next time, stay magical. All right, everyone, take care. Peace. Hey everyone, hello. So today's video is dedicated to one of hip-hop's most iconic and philosophical voices, KRS-One, the teacher. KRS-One isn't just a rapper, he's a philosopher, a prophet in his own right, and someone who's always spoken about the deeper meaning of life, culture, and self-knowledge. His spiritual beliefs are unique, centered on direct connection with God, the power of the mind, and self-reliance, rather than strict adherence to an organized religion. KRS-One believes that every human being has an inner spiritual voice, a direct line to the Creator. He doesn't push the idea of going through institutions or traditional religious hierarchies to connect with God. Instead, he emphasizes truth, peace, and unity, as well as the ancient maxim, know thyself. For KRS, hip-hop itself is more than music. It's a culture and even a possible religion. In his book, The Gospel of Hip-Hop, he lays out the philosophy where hip-hop can serve as a spiritual system for those who live it. He compares hip-hop to the ancient tradition rooted in knowledge, self-expression, and a collective search for truth. One of KRS's strongest messages is about the power of the mind to manifest reality. He teaches that your thoughts create your experiences, and your mental state is the key to shaping your destiny. This is not about materialism. It's about realizing that consciousness itself is divine. A major part of his philosophy is the principle of H-Law: health, love, awareness, and wealth. According to KRS-One, there are 4 pillars that are the foundation of a fulfilling life. Health keeps the body strong. Love keeps relationships whole. Awareness keeps the mind sharp. And wealth beyond just money represents abundance in knowledge, opportunity, and community. Back in 2002, KRS dropped an album, Spiritual Minded, which was more than just rap. It was a sermon on wax. The project explored his philosophy about spirituality, divine connection, and the role of hip-hop in awakening consciousness. Later, he expanded on this idea, The Gospel of Hip-Hop, a massive book that reads almost like scripture. In it, KRS-One outlines how hip-hop can be a guiding light, a path to self-knowledge, and a culture capable of uniting people through shared truth and respect. KRS's spiritual journey was also shaped by his family. His mother, Jacqueline Jones, played a key role. She confirmed his divine purpose through astrology and numerology. This reveals that she too embraced metaphysical traditions, seeing cosmic order and mathematical patterns as tools to understand human destiny. By affirming her son's role as a messenger through the spiritual sciences, she helped set KRS-One on a lifelong path of self-discovery and teaching. Her guidance clearly influenced his openness to alternative spiritual practices and his confidence in declaring hip-hop as more than entertainment. It's a movement with divine purpose. KRS's teachings aren't about dogma, but are about freedom of thought, unity, and listening to that inner voice. He challenges us to look beyond the surface of music, culture, and even religion, and to ask ourselves, are we truly living by truth? Are we at peace with ourselves? Are we connected to the divine within? In a world where many chase material success, KRS reminds us that the real wealth is awareness, knowing who you are, where you come from, and how your mind shapes your reality. So, when we listen to KRS-One, whether it's spiritual-minded or the gospels of hip-hop, we're not just hearing rap, we're hearing a spiritual system, a philosophy that combines hip-hop culture and timeless wisdom. And maybe that's the lesson KRS has been teaching all along. Hip-hop isn't just beats and rhymes, it's a way of life, a way to know thyself, and maybe even a way to touch God. So yeah, that's my video today on KRS-One and his spirituality. If you enjoyed this breakdown on KRS, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, maybe even share the video with a friend and leave a comment or two. Until next time, peace, love, and awareness, everyone. Take care.
Shout out to Jody for esoteric news every Royal Priesthood Wednesdays here on the Killah Priest Podcraft. Tune in tomorrow for the regularly scheduled Podcraft show. And for those who have not yet subscribed to the Patreon, I'm telling you, as a Patreon subscriber and as one who's been listening to these builds, they're getting more and more nuanced, more and more dynamic. If you don't have Heavy Mental, go get it. Go get it today. Heavy Mental. You know what I'm saying? Go get it today. Heavy Mental. You understand what I'm saying? Today, you will witness something. Heavy Mental. Never done. You know what I'm saying? So go get the album. It's 28 years young now. 28 years ago. Think about what you were doing 28 years ago. And to have a grand unifier, grand connecting sort of shared history that we could all share together. This album, 28 years. 28 years. Go get the album, get the vinyl, get something stored up, get the CD, get it however you can get it. Get it. Go get it. You know, create some sort of hip hop heirlooms for your next generation, for your future generations. Something of value. It's the greatest art. And the greatest alchemical blend of all of the arts, the music, and the sciences that predated it. It's the greatest. This is why they seeking to make it appear oversaturated. They said it was going to be a fad. It wasn't going to last past a decade. It's 5 decades deep now. And this album is in that great pantheon. So do something for your mental. Heavy Mental. Okay? So in honor of Priest, in honor of everything that he's given thus far, everything becomes a continual extension of what this was. Wherever your genesis was, meaning wherever you found Priest along your journey, whether it was yesterday, in any aspect, right? And if all you ever thought about is him coming out with this album, when this album is some place that's sacred in your heart, get it. Get it again. Get it and give it to somebody. Get it and give it to somebody older than you, and get it and give it to somebody younger than you. Give them that gift. Give them that present. They will always remember you, I promise. So let's show that old. Let's show that love. Let's show that respect. You know what I mean? And continue. So the Podcraft will be on tomorrow. Go to kppodcraft.com. Send in your song promotions, send in your super chat, send in your love. He's still celebrating. He's still on this high. This is a momentous occasion, a space of celebration. And, happy born day for everybody. If y'all didn't know, AD's birthday was on the 10th, on yesterday. So make sure y'all shout him out and show him some love. And, let's be in rotation. Let's be in heavy rotation. And let's be the digital and physical street team for this album. And, let's make sure we do what we can. Do what we can. Do what we can. Heavy Mental. So see y'all next Royal Priesthood Wednesday. Got another special guest coming back on here. Mr. Alexander will be in the building, and we'll get an hour of power. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. If y'all saw him on the Podcraft recently, shout out to John Newsom for being the grand connector, the Hermes, as Mitch Horowitz calls him. So the saga continues. All right. The saga continues. Shout out to Kenyattah Black for coming through. One of many times we'll see him and get a chance to see us add on and build. We had a free sighting today. Beautiful. So tomorrow regularly scheduled Podcraft. Tune in and become a Patreon subscriber. Okay? Become a Patreon subscriber. Go back through the archives. There's such amazing videos, all kinds of things that are happening that are available for every tier. For every tier. So join the tier and stay tuned in, stay tapped in. Amazing things are in store, and it's only going to get better. Another Royal Priesthood Wednesday. It's your brother Knowledge Born Alive. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love your journey. Love your sacrifices. Love your story. They are all a part of your growth. All a part of your growth and development. Share your story the best way you know how, the way that it's most comfortable to you and comes the most natural to you. Share it with the world. The world is in need of what you create. Jay Bland was in the building yesterday. He got to, come on, break down some things, share his thoughts, share some things from his mind as well. So that's one of the incentives in regards to the tiers. You get a chance to do something that you probably wouldn't have done before. So come on, be seen, be heard, get excited, be sparked, have you mentioned. All right. So again, your brother Knowledge Born Allah. Love yourself. Love to you. Love to your family. Love to what you create, what you celebrate, and what you honor. And we will be back next week. Peace.
Each tea has its own character and properties. What is the purpose of breeding? These many teas are grown in nature, all of them. Is there a discernible difference? Yes, once you learn this, you can tell the difference between the teas. But the way I see it is, the tea doesn't judge itself. It's people that judge its grade. Different people choose different things.
Yo, I sip tea with big leaves between thick trees. Feel the wind breeze that brung in bees. Stare at the blue sea. Karate gi, books on Bruce Lee. My dragon fist extends from out my sleeve like a kung fu movie. Flipping over their bullets while they spray their Uzi. Chopsticks for sushi, drop kicks Suzuki's. Charm Lang and Susie, the area look bougie. Built like a temple oriental. Let me tell a story simple. The sky's a stormy, brain pouring gentle. The more she pulls towards me, the more it's mental. Fist of the North Star, kiss of a soft throb, rosy dimples. A mist in the courtyard, old initials. Her robe has symbols, shows she's Hindu. Kicks from Kenya. Anything I miss, shall I continue? In the spring, the spider is the fly's fate. I train by 8, the crane and the snake. I learn from mistakes, I earn my plate. Pampered by faith, I'm unconcerned with waste and bloodlines with negative traits. Up the mountain to practice human balance. I move in silence. My greatest challenge till I move back to Shaolin. With this tea is Darjeeling. It helps with music talent. And if your mood is violence, it's just smooth as violence. The crown jewel, black tea, relax me. A bluish island, they put me up on per urn. You don't stir, just let it sit, frankincense and myrrh. I prefer the expert nuts and herbs. Make rhymes with energy words. Wait on waiters to serve. Never let peace be disturbed. My third eye's like the beat of the bird that screech, observe. Never peek even though your destiny's reach. With rap, I'm a geek, a nerd. Strange happenings at the creek occurred. They said a beast emerged. The sky left the streets. The streets were herds. All this sipping my tea. All this written by me. Priest on my tea break. On my tea break. On my tea break. On my tea break. On my tea break.
Long black eyes on both sides counting in the 5. In a tree above the ancient tribes with hives lived sisters that were all small in size. In the morning they would all rise and buzz above the buds, waiting for the opening of their love. Amongst the bushes and the tree shrubs. In Mexico, the old Mex would wait for them because they pollinate their cactus for the tequila. They were simply known as the healers. These small beings were winged and they had stingers to sting to protect the queen. They were responsible for peaches, oranges, and apples and nectarines. The color of their bodies were yellow and black. The rest were rings. The insect for kings. On a full moon on the right night when it's totally dark, the queen of the bees come out and talk with the wasp. We have all our ancient ancestors encased in amber. Great bees from the past that protect us from the bear and the badgers. They are the masters of the pastures. The wasp spoke off top. I scavenge from the bottom during autumn. While y'all fly above the garden looking for pollen, I see a problem, cause I search amongst the doom beneath the moon. While y'all eat that which bloom and blossom. Quiet, the possum. They tell me you have magic, royal jelly. Y'all really came up since y'all evolved from us. And y'all from the ants before y'all were ever was. The universe buzzed. We all can agree that the breed gave rise to the plants, and plants gave rise to the canopy, such as the banana tree, then different strands of weed. We are the bees. Since the larvae we were godly. Our colonies are responsible for spinach and collard greens. Y'all are solitary, the ants have an army. We have workers and servers and drones inside our comb, high above the Tassili stones and the pygmy homes, before people unknown, places where gypsies roam, encased inside a hexagon-shaped cone. The sweetest taste that man can't duplicate, it can't be recreated or grown. Before the flood separated countries, before Egypt had mummies, the bees made honey. Sell us the dope that leads to heart failures and strokes. Where do we start? Do we believe what the elders wrote, or the ones who watch through a telescope? The Illuminati cyclops, beast spark on every coast. The head of a cult, the devil goat that sits in a drum circle like a hippie, dressed like a gypsy. My best of rocket to nebula quotes is like Tesla notes. Now they got surveillance on Diddy. I'm a cross between Umar Johnson and Billy Carson. I told my grandmother that we are from where the stars from. I'm like Rod Hayes, but I'm Todd Wave with a blonde fade. Some days it'll be an orange braid, half shade, that's just his character. I made hair like lemonade, both his parents come from Africa. Y'all know the prototype, it's the walking life. See, the sun is the source of light. It made my quartz bright as New York at night. They say when Walter Wright, he could steer Hathor to the boat of the moon. Into the cliff, sent to the glyphs to open the tombs. They say killer flows is like pillar protocols that fulfill the scrolls made of silver and gold. The bars I laid is like sculpted on the architrave. I wrote it like an art display with gods and goddesses with darker shades. I wrote it in the chamber, glowing like the child that was golden in the manger. Only 3 kings knew he was growing to be the savior. Okay, back to rap more about Hathor, the cow-headed near the Nile desert. Under the white clouds, the native dancing in the powwow. He wore the head crown of owl feathers. As the clan went from Loud Records, and Priest and Jizza wrote their signature down on Geffen. And hip-hop's are where I found the presence. The shepherds are coming down from Mount Everest, surrounded by peasants. With unclean skin disease, they called them leopard. I pointed a finger up and moved it around till I found the nebula. I told them I walked through Babylon, Persia, and Mecca. I talked to bees out their nectar, kings out their treasure. I've been counting ever since I've been walking. I started from forever. I've been writing on stillies inside of caverns where it's misty.
Dealt tarot cards to the hands of time. Closed my eyes while the mouth of a cave kissed me. I gave the walls history. Y'all enslaved us all misery. That's why I shaved it off and came back bald, a mystery. I wrote it all on big slabs of lapis, lazuli, channel vibes to the candle fire. 12 candlesticks, 6 on amethyst. I write my scrolls on the clove of a rose. You see them when they unfold, the untold secret me and the queen bee hold. So when they make the pollen bin, I can communicate with the insect world like King Solomon. I mean solar gems, most roll to him.
Then I went rogue on them, those who stole my pen. Then I went ice cold as wind. Geminis, we roll as twins. When we take the mic, we are the walking life.
The D's rated houses looking for your favorite out of Brooklyn. Africa praises to the bushmen, to the natives in the woodlands, the razors in the Juxin, through the mazes of the bullpen. They killed our saviors, re-raised us and made us into hoodlums. Malcolm X became one of the greatest out of the Muslims, except for this boxer who never went to Oxford, never became a doctor, but got the rings of the chakras. Cassius Clay and Hathaway passed away, saw dimensions. George Benson, could this be a masquerade? Preacher said fast and pray. My mother's not there, but I asked her grave. Tiffany's not here, but her ashes stayed. What word will Prince and Michael Jackson say? I was a boy, now the mirror showed me patches of gray. Then it got black, and I started like tapping into a haze. Dazed. The mirror said your hair looked glazed because that's how much passion you gave. This is what happened, you still rapping. The mirror became my healer, but it told me I was a pyramid giver, a gold spitter and a soul filler. I came to slay the Antichrist. Walking life, walking life. Yeah, so I pray.
Now, who were some of your early influences?
Well, the planets, the creator, mythical gods, real ones, people, flowers, everything in nature, inspiration. Musicians get their inspiration really from environmental things, and all musicians are inspiration to me, no matter what style they're playing. Royal Priesthood. Yeah. Vedic vape on papers. Yeah, on nature. Yeah, here we go. 1, 2. Call me Captain Invincible, Master Original, Super Saiyan of sayings, graphic and visual, math metaphysical, rap somewhat mystical. From a sun-disk vehicle, I come to spit lyrical. When I talk, I force crowds to come forth. As I return lyrical hip-hop to its source. That's food for thought. I add salt, so let it sit in the pot like broth. Stir it till it cools off. Nourishment from New York sidewalks. Rent with high cost apartments, vents and lofts. Space and treble was twist. The ghetto was lit. I take my space behind the tape as the next pharaoh to sit. From sunrise to become Ra. Then I became God from King's Yard. Brooklyn from the train yard. Spray paint, brave saints, late night rain hard. Engraved ink, they drink back on the boulevard. My flow irritate demons, make them uncomfortable like it's a palm reading. Cause when I write it's like I'm foreseeing those in your circle that will hurt you and across regions. I call them out throughout our 4 seasons. They say my quotes galvanize ghosts and make the place spooky, like cemetery chase in the movie. My pen embraces beauty, a taste of grace, a faith with 4 aces, greatness truly. To balance the brilliant bipolar, try yoga. Till the skies lower than climb over. The time flow, I baptize Noah. Joan of Arc, my refuse to get up persona. Rosa Parks, this is mental health help. Protect the temple, be gentle with self. The giant to elf, though it seem hard, it's simple in stealth. Attentive, attractive, anxiety disorders. Super supportive, silent schizophrenia. Dementia door walker. Dementia for millennials before the authors are Horus. Before the spirits moved across the waters. And my lyrics wrote themselves with Taurus. And Methuselah finally had rigor mortis. Now man makes machine to dig through the forest. The land placed with kings till he's to the orbit. I'm the understanding place in my queen in August. But there's more than 16 bars. So improve God.
manipulated zodiac, I figured the water formula. More mates and more braids dripping before Lemuria. Swimming in sound waves, the rivers of every aura. The dreaming's the real streaming Piscean movie Emporia. Currency's words for me, each sound is a note. That's $1. Dalai Lama Lake, I'm torching the boat. Cross the river Styx with an orchestra and 2 goats. Rode a llama through the lake of fire, walked through the cloak. Darth Vapor, Darth Vader, peak the charm, leg to leg. Spoke the Brahma through an ancient wire, thought I was woke. Dreams wrapped in dreams, inception of a Russian doll maker. The secretive confessions of 100 stargazers, giving birth to the future, but it wasn't hard labor. Bizarre nature, they be saying we extreme. You think you woke till you wake up in the next dream. Guitar player made the music to connect scenes. What if we're the clones of a nascent adept fetus? A repeating simulation of the living death sequence. Vegas hidden nascent in the masonry beams. This is light architecture that remains to be seen. Made tea inside the circle, so I'm faking the steam. Taurus taking nanobites till I ate the machine. Who could swallow volcanoes like a plate of cuisine? Cause God made the spiral and hypnotized himself, staring at his own chart. Now who can wake the supreme? So eternity at once, in the space in the stream, between infinity and now and all this place in between. They so hungry for the light to get a taste of the gleam. The clip's empty, I'm trying to refill it, but the beat's already dead, I'm trying to re-kill it. Inside of a deep skillet, stop lying to me, spill it. Exercise peace while you puzzle, I still fit. Your circle's out of shape with no muscular build fit. Papers from banana plants to puff on my grills with. Jungles though I'm used to going dust like the bill split. Light pole, fixed stars, froze time, I'm still lit. Playing freeze tag with my past self, I'm still lit. I'm still wet from my past rain, I still drip. That's nice and cool, Zodiac bicycle. Rapid eye motion, beats with appetites roaming. This sounds like a job for this is Captain Sky Ocean, Superman and Mr. Universe who snatched the time potion. Shoot, they optimism like it's magnified, hoping lyrics hit the firmament case and it cracked it wide open, wide open, wide open.
Stoic silence of the oldest island begin to thaw, replaced by a growing comfort from endless wars. A sense of openness from the hopelessness of night terrors and war-torn. A culture hit on the trio roots go down to hell. A vulture sits, its fruits are strange. Comfort is the enemy of change. That's Buddha slain. Ostentatious displays of masculinity, master identity, clashes of chemistry, acts to ministry. They found ossuaries where Yasha was buried. Yale and Oxford is wealthy. That's where it's held in a box with the Steelies. Sensation-seeking journalists, selfish collectors, thieves and lit professors. Search for leads to hidden treasures, forbidden fruit that Adam and Eve bitten together. Seductive promise, corrupt the conscious, curse of the monstrous. A bomb nuclear launches, dinosaurs extinct who instruct the comets. Destructive regardless, Buddha's twisted bamboo. The Messiah touch a carpet, unspoken tension permeated the air. The sun show us vision, made perfectly clear. The whole solar system, from days, months to years, casting net over our tranquil existence, joy and tears. The town's whispers grew louder, weaving tales of a particular king of power, deceived as well. Conversation in hushed tones spoke of a clandestine underworld, King Tut's bones, the son of hell. Gray smoke filled the air, creating a nostalgic atmosphere, contentment, religious. In the quietude of recent years, a mysterious veil descended from the night upon the living. The sun dipped below the horizon. The streets took on a different shape altogether. Monopolizing luxury cars, sleek and expensive, stealthily rolled through the winters. Criminal business with their wives and the fitness. Some took bribes, leads to a sentence. Some survived, codependent, now they co-defendants. Exposed to witness through hopes and contradictions. Cellmates, ex-cons in prisons. Killers with long convictions. Addicts with strong addictions. Badges, they draw depictions. Priest and mystic, listen. My book fell apart when I touched it. Its pages turned back to a papyrus, then went back to a tree, to a seed of a mustard.
Every day's a lesson, every moment is a plus degree. When I reached the door, I discovered that I was the key. Roots to the heavens so high, it's all under. And yo, I fit 1,000 nation libraries with one mustard seed. I planted planters in the soil, grew over the thunder trees with lightning branches, stars as fruit. Second dances, sight enhancers follow, but the numbers lead. My novel is too much to read. Arm wrestle gorillas, now they groveling in front of me. This knowledge from a honeybee, competition runs for me. Obviously, never went to college for my son degree. Thought I erased light when only darkness just remained immortal. When I erased light, I dusted him and it created soil. Snakes that call you, raise the oil, praise the royal, slaves that toil. My hand touched frozen water and it made it boil. Food inside my brain don't spoil, burning bronze. Word is bond, I flow like every word's upon a rose begun. I work my wand, I send a message out and every creature in the world responds. They send their delegates from every forest, birds and squirrels, swans have even made me say damn. Leave it trying to weigh grams. Unison, I pulled through desert eagles from my waistband that flew away as UV rays in heaven. I'm a made man who can cause free will and destiny to shake hands. Definitely shape plans, trajectory remains grand. And even when they buried me, I effortlessly made jam. Fast they couldn't tag me if they messaged me with spray cans. I made pie from a piece of a divine apple, eating in my mind castle. Frequently a time travel, leaving them with rhymes traveling. Preach within your spine chapel. All things are from the past, every seat a time capsule. See the Vegas sign maps you, deities inside gravel, creeping up behind grab you. Reason why my rhymes baffle, much to the move star. And saying look how smooth he is, I'm something like a juice bar. They bishops all accuse me of removing all the blackness like a substance that removes tar. Spirit free lyrically, I've come to take it too far. Few saw my feathers and they only saw a bird crutching. Every culture, all they gods spoke of me in first person. Zodiac, Satan got the yogis round the world searching. Mold me from the dirt merchant, holy with the earth circling. My physicals and sculpts and fastened from a fist of mud. The flow that made the mythic flood. Missile scud, sigil thug, the engineer who stripped my code and wrote it in magician's blood. Man Samutra, man that super secrets to the clock counts. Be myself, even if the people in the box doubt you. Teleport, I be myself, seems that they forgot how to. We the ones that the deities on top bout you. Let them speak and slide out you, see your spirit pop out you. Beating me and not bout to sequences I drop wow you. Risk electrocution, just a touch we call it shock value. Every day's a lesson, every moment is a plus degree. When I reached the door, I discovered that I was the key. Roots to the heavens so high, it's all under me.
Tell their moments with heroic genes. It's detailed perfectly, encrypting codes on beams like mercury. Written on scrolls unseen, only the word you see. Missing head rolls from guillotines and perjury. Body release the soul in surgery. The mirror is clean before it cracks. Killah is back at the murder scene to clean his tracks. At the darkest hour of the night, glides on the wings of bats. Like a black avenger called the crow above a phoenix bat. Swirling ravens around my fountain pen. There's all my written text, unforgiven death, counted sin. If so, I write this epistle, holding the crystal, trying to counter them. With rhymes I'm balancing, and the mind is challenging. And all my writing books that lightning pushed, open with burning pages. Minister from sermons from ages. A lot remain hermits and nameless. Hip-hop ordained minister of greatness. Came in the game from a spaceship. My merkable message, Wordsmith on records, magic, check it. It's like I'm related to the inventor of Tetris. It's weird, cause as my name slowly go down in the pages of history, the book disappears. My bars then reappear in shapes that's great. From the top, then slowly drop. It's reoccurring as ghostly hip-hop. I'm the phantom. Hold your attention for ransom. In my father's house, there's many mansions. Each room a bar, lounge, and expanded. A black K stretched next to a Celtic P. The crest etched upon my eldry. Red rosaries, holy beads. They read, I wrote a creed for the dead that goes to the elderly. Try to put a hex spell on me. Ropes around the necks fell from trees. Open the doors of the cellars, make you dwell in hell for centuries. As the Middle Age seal reveals the MCKP, your executioner, with a letter from Lucifer. The dreads go booyaka from Nephis to Utica. I'm really that vulgar as I read from the stilly of the vultures. I'm hip-hop, I'm the city and the culture. Watch, I play chess upon the universe. Map first, flat earth, pull up my chair. I use the borough of Queens as my queen, protect Brooklyn as king. Then call check as I place Manhattan on the Madison Square. Then wait calm, you can't touch the Bronx. You in check, you got a problem, try to lift up Harlem. He touched Strong Alley next, I start smiling. That's checkmate, Staten Island. 32 pieces from my Charlene set. Who went next? I shuffle tectonic plates like it's a deck. Any concept, my sword complete with all flesh. It's Killah Priest, the war vet. The goat of Psalms, coat of arms, and medals on my broad chest. Othello that shove devils into a vortex. Eyes yellow like the great owl. As my mic appears from out of gray clouds, my verse heard in wave sounds and frequencies of high pitches. Hide in hieroglyphics, the lyrics is aged now. A sage found. How do I stay bound? Young with a face frown. I'm older with grace. On my shoulders go plates. I went from headaches, but now on my head is where they place crowns. Caution when walking on my stage with your sacred grounds.
Anywhere our feet touch become sacred grounds. See us walking over clouds wearing flaming crowns. If you ain't speaking with love, it's just a waste of sound. Sacred ground, laid it down, builders of the ancient mounds. Anywhere our feet touch become sacred ground. See us walking over clouds wearing flaming crowns. If you ain't speaking with love, it's just a waste of sound. Sacred ground, laid it down, builders of the ancient mounds. Lips of death kissed me and it died right before me. See, they say the Grim Reaper took his eyes when he saw me free. They need me like breath, though they cried and ignored me. So ironic, knew I was the most high as a shorty. Trees tried to record me in their rings, years of extra Lakers. Why y'all don't see that every tree's a stack of record players? Nectar mayor, nexus maker, killers on our best behavior. They say your next friend could also be your next betrayer. Magic trick, 3 eyes that saw me in half. I'm illustrating, brigand, raving, spoken, taught me the math. Now it's all I seek, thought I did. A seraphim that shared honeydew, melanin with the Z hive that's swarming me. They rhyme and it's boring me to die. Be the glory, he's Allah's favorite suit. I arrived when he wore me, God. Body in the cleaners, had a stellium in Virgo. Kill adrenochrome sippers, melatonin into Merlot. Flying over New Jeru, I saw a giant priest rhyming on beats in a circle, playing chess with all the boroughs. I said I got next, sat on Barican, dropping words, snow like ashes. Serapis, Caraxes, we played some worlds ago. I reached my jersey pieces from Monopoly and AC. Computer hacked the saxophone, calling music to play me. To learn your pattern, son, your KB. Where should I move my next? Word horse, jumpkin' JC, or is that move smart? I sparked the LEO with ideas to build a new arc. The move is nights falling, cause his curtains made the room dark. I'm serving turns of blows that level the playing field. From owners to renting the kingdom will never kneel. From Brooklyn to guillotine neck, protect your shoulder mug. Upon his head he wore a T-set. I spit a soldier's blood, the mad Maga had that the dagger is still liquid. Watch it on cam, did in slow motion, it's still missing. The Knights of Elves cut off their legs and still kick the globe back to the subconscious mind where it existed. Bishop coming at an angle but witty, maybe he missed it. Spot the brook, coming trying to take the Queen Elizabeth. Swept the pieces off the glass roof, watch her slow breaking ozone layers. Once connected to the turbo deep, they trying to figure out how I cut them with a steel sword. And though I danced across the ceiling, they were still floored. Skilled at war, though I became human, I was still the Lord. Right until my name became huger than a billboard. I almost cracked the firmament, yeah, with just the surface below. While I was in the sky, breakdancing as the earth was rotating in the circle, I created an inferno. My breath across the glass wrote my name into the words glow. Head spinning on the ceiling like iguanas, it's the lizard ill. Nothing ever happened, if it's all a dream, it isn't real. Pictures in your image real, lightning that I get to wheel. Grip the wheel, whip a pill, bananas when I drove off. Grasping with the spoke speak, magic on the throne seat. I'm faster like I don't eat, magic when our souls cross. Say the future limits you, traveling with no peak. Hide and seek the time I sneak back again, but don't peek. I saw myself counting on the map again, a stone sheik. For many kings vanished, cause their character was so weak. Collab with God until we slay the dragon on its own beat. Out the lid, on this pot they battling with no heat. Without my hands I caught a glimpse, then married it with cold feet. I walked on thin ice and melted half until there's no sheet. The Matrix figure skater, one it battling, you're hopefully the greatest figure skater. To the math magician, don't cheat. But what if no one can see us? No squares to hold and keep us. No board and no chess box, just astronosis Jesus. We just played each other's music, it controlled the pieces. Humans on the sidewalk, squares, planet psychokinesis. Every move connects fate and empty heads and neck weight. Santos and priests in Australia, we talk to plant ghosts. Created
like money together. Now that's a checkmate.
Made the devil eat his heart out from off his breastplate.